side run. No, it's a keeper, and it's Thomas in the end zone for the touchdown. Near side, still untouched, and now down the sideline goes Ledger Russell for the touchdown. Three-step drop, throw is out, and it's caught. Tedesco will wrestle it away from Morrison. Meanwhile, they're going to dial up a deep one. Peters is wide open. The handoff, Elton breaks the tackle, bounces it right side. He's got the first down and a whole lot more. Inside the 10, inside the 5, touchdown, Salem! Nope, this is the new ball carrier. Look out! On his first carry tonight, Junior Brooks Corners is gone. Well, hello everyone, and welcome here to Bedford. Nick and Aston Steve Beals with you, getting set for our Friday Night Lights New Hampshire Game of the Week, presented by Beals Insurance. Salem and Bedford. The winner will punch the final ticket to next weekend's Division I semifinals. Bedford undefeated during the regular season. The defending champion Bulldogs were not challenged really at all on the schedule, as they won games really by blowout fashion week in and week out. They had last week off due to the bye week. Salem, meanwhile, they come in hot. 55-point performance in the opening round of the playoffs, a win over Spalding. That capped off a 6-3 regular season under longtime head coach Steve Abraham. So Salem, in the minds of many, viewed as the underdog tonight. Bedford hoping to take care of business and advance to the semifinals where Portsmouth awaits.
You know, Nick, you look at both teams, talk to a lot of parents from Bedford here that were early, and they're obviously concerned that, but yet very confident at the same time in their young men here playing this game tonight, that competition, this is certainly going to be probably their best test they've had all year. But the way Bedford's played and the distance at which they've won these games as far as score is concerned really represents itself well as they lead into this game to be, I think, personally the favorite. However, Salem, not a favorite by much, given the fact of what Salem has done and how they've faced Londonderry and other iron teams. They have been tested. They faced Pinkerton. They faced Londonderry. And other teams that are part of that middle of the pack, Nick, and they've certainly had their teeth sharpened for sure. Look at both of these teams. It's hard to figure out. You got a good passing attack, but Lumley on the Salem side is a great runner. He can open up to both sides very effectively. So Bedford's going to see something probably they haven't seen all year. Let's see if they can live up to that test and live up to the expectations, Nick. I've been waiting for this game. We've had this circled with the expectation that there's a very good possibility this game would happen. I can't wait to see these two styles go against each other here at Bulldog Stadium.
A buzzing crowd here building at Bedford High School. Several students, the parents, and just football fans in general. The final quarterfinal game in Division I on the schedule. When we come back, we'll get Steve's keys to the game. We'll go down to the field for the national anthem and the coin toss. And then football comes your way at 5 o'clock Eastern. You are watching our Friday Night Lights New Hampshire Game of the Week, presented by Beals Insurance.
Our broadcast today, as it always is brought to you by Beals Insurance Agency, with locations now in both Bedford and Londonderry. Whether you need home, auto, or business insurance, Beals Insurance will get you both the price and quality coverage that's right for you. Just call 603-471-9999 or visit BealsInsurance.com to request a free quote and start saving money today. Again, that's BealsInsurance.com. How can you reach your team's fundraising goals at no risk and no cost? MG Sports offers a variety of products to make your team's fundraiser a success. Their products include tickets and discount cards to hundreds of local businesses. MG Sports now has a digital platform where athletes can raise funds in the comfort and safety of their own home. Don't waste another season. Raise more funds than ever before and become another football program in New Hampshire that sets fundraising records every season. MG Sports, fundraising made easy. Visit MGSportsFundraising.com to start raising money for your team today. The New Hampshire Tomahawks promote the highest level of club lacrosse competition, not just in the state, but in the country. Looking to get recruited? Director Chris Cameron keeps an open dialogue with the nation's top college lacrosse coaches. Over 400 New Hampshire Tomahawks alumni have played at the college level, including the ACC, Big East, Big Ten, Ivy, NESCAC, NE10, and more. New Hampshire Tomahawks coaching staff has over 100 coaches, including current high school, varsity, and college coaches. The Tomahawks offer training for players of all ages, clinics, camps, and leagues, along with spring, summer, and fall elite teams. So play with the best. The New Hampshire Tomahawks, showcase and development for college lacrosse. Visit NewHampshireTomahawks.com and girls.nhtomahawks.com.
Hey, I'm Chad, the owner of New Hampshire iPhone Repair. We're New Hampshire's most trusted and affordable repair shop for your iPhone, iPad, iPod, and even Android needs. Don't worry, we're affordable, reliable, and we back our parts with a lifetime warranty. And you know what the best part is? No, what? We can repair your phone while you wait.
I know, that's why I'm here.
Oh, I know, Mrs. Green. Here's your iPad, good as new. Bring your phone into New Hampshire iPhone Repair today.
Buy local and save big. For over 26 years, Spectrum Monthly has been providing great local offers from businesses in New Hampshire and Massachusetts, delivered to your mailbox every month. Spectrum is chock full of savings from your favorite businesses. From local restaurants and retail stores to entertainment, fitness, and home improvement services. You'll have easy access to thousands of dollars in savings, including exclusive offers for Spectrum readers. Every month, enter our readership contest for a chance at winning cash and local gift certificates. Spectrum Monthly, no one brings you better offers.
Back here in Bedford, getting set for the kickoff between Bedford and Salem in our Friday Night Lights New Hampshire Game of the Week, presented by Beals Insurance. A chilly night, temperature right around 40 degrees or so, the sun beginning to set. Let's go down now to the field for the national anthem. Well, there it is, the national anthem here on Veterans Day. A little extra special as we get set for this final quarterfinal round matchup of the weekend. Nick and Asta, Steve Beals with you. Bedford and Salem captains about to meet at midfield for the coin toss. We appreciate those of you tuning in nationwide, worldwide on Friday Night Lights New Hampshire. We're on YouTube at FNLNH Media, and we thank all the veterans for their service here on Veterans Day. Steve, your keys.
Well, for the keys, Nick, you think about what football has meant to the military and what the military means to football. There's a symbiotic relationship. There's so many football players that have gone on to be some of our best soldiers and leaders of the men and women that serve in this country. And I agree. I share that, agree with you wholeheartedly, Nick, on that. I thought that anthem was well done. Keys to the game tonight. Salem. Big part of it is on Lumley. If Lumley can be a rollout quarterback and he can get free on both and get outside and run when he's supposed to run, but not pass and throw it away when it's not there and not turn the ball over, that is going to create a big factor for Salem to get the Demons out of that part of the game. They don't have that. They've been very clean, Nick, throughout the year. They need to do that tonight because this defensive backfield of Bedford is outstanding. On the Bedford side, Nick, I'm going to go to the quarterback again. Decision-making by Danny Black this year has been outstanding. He's kept himself out of trouble. He hasn't made the throws that are going to get his team behind. I also think it's extremely important for the visiting team to come out strong. And if they can't get points, Nick, they've either got to move it, and if they do receive, get the field position down on the far end. That's going to be critical. I don't even know where to put this game. We talked about it before. If there's ever a game where you just need to see the guys get at it, it's this one. Because I've thought about this, all day, and I don't really know where to go. Bedford, we don't have any other teams that both of them that are faced that we really can use as a benchmark. So this is all brand new. Good luck to both teams tonight. Good luck to Zach Matthews. What a coach he's been in. And arguably Steve Abraham with a young group that he's got. Certainly he's got to be in the final running for Coach of the Year in my view. He and his staff have done a phenomenal job. Both of these programs, how can you not like them?
Well, Bedford's going to go old school.
Yeah.
Coach Matthews wants the football. As the Bulldogs
I understand that.
Won the toss and elected to receive. So Salem will kick. A little bit of a breeze blowing from right to left. Both schools well represented here at Bulldog Stadium. The Blue Devil fans made the short trip up Route 93.
Sorry, Nick.
Our official tonight at the head of a 5-man crew is the veteran John Reardon.
Yeah, I totally understand why Coach Matthews wants the ball. He's got a very prolific offense. One of his running backs is a Ukika entry. As a sophomore, we'll see what they can do.
Here's the kick from Brady Gaudette, the senior. It's a short one. It's fielded on the far side at the 25. And up over the 30 and up to the 35 goes Dylan Soden, the senior return man for Bedford. So we get a look at Danny Black and this prolific Bulldog offense. The 6-foot senior is a 2-year starter. Of course, he etched his name in the history books last year in the Division I championship round against Londonderry, where he led his team 90 yards down the field in less than 2 minutes to set up what would be the game-winning field goal in a 15-14 victory over the Lancers.
Yep.
And he's gotten better since then.
No doubt.
He'll face a 4-man front. Blue Devils will blitz. Bulldogs go up the middle with the sophomore running back, Brody Helton, who, as you mentioned, Steve, lethal. Just a sophomore, but a state rushing champion at the varsity level.
He's thick and he runs heavy, Nick. To be a sophomore and have this sort of maturity as a young player really lends to the youth football development that he probably had coming in and the great coaching he's got since coming into Bedford High School. This guy clearly gets it. We had Zach Matthew on Gridiron the other night, and he spoke so highly of Brody.
All right. Bedford with a wingback left side. That's Kevin Sheridan, another player to watch.
Oh, boy.
Tonight. 3 receivers set. Sheridan in motion to the near side. They fake to Helton. They throw to Sheridan. Catch made in the flat. Spins. Avoids a man at the 45 and trucks his way up to midfield for a Bedford first down.
Well, he's done it all year, Nick. That nice inside move got him the first down. Had good coverage. Looked like just overran as Sheridan catches the ball and is able to start his move here already as he's pulling the ball in. He is something else to watch.
Tackle made by Talon Walton. He's got 2 stops here early, the first 2 for Salem. And now Coach Matthews in a conversation here with Danny Black, who may have changed the play. Black handles a high snap, handoff to Walton, big hole left side. Gonna bounce it and nearly pick up the first down. He's tripped up by the linebacker, Kevin Tedisco, and they mark him at least a yard shy of that marker, so it'll be 2nd down and 1. Bedford going to hurry right back up to the line of scrimmage here, as Coach Matthews wants his offense to play with some pace.
Yes.
So the no huddle.
Try to wear down that defense.
4-man front, snap taken, pitch. Helton drops the ball. It's loose, and the sophomore has to fall back on it at his own 49-yard line. So a big loss there.
Yeah.
Nearly 8 yards will set up now a 3rd and 9.
Yeah, the impetus for that, Nick, was a good rush by the Salem defensive line, Nick. They came right through, had a nice defensive play call right there. Kudos to the defensive coordinator there nice call at the right time. You can see very fortunate to maintain possession of that ball because Salem was right there to grab it. But that's kind of what you want. What you want if you're Salem, because you got to stall this drive. That loss is a good demonstration, if you will, about how good the Salem defense is.
Blue Devil fans on the road here chanting defense. 3rd and 9, short pass taken in by Helton, and he's got room up the middle. He's got a first down and then some.
He's
got
gone.
a burst to right side. He's inside the 20, inside the 10, and inside the end zone
He is something
for
else.
a touchdown. It's a 48-yard touchdown pass from Danny Black to Brody Helton. And less than 3 minutes in, Bedford strikes first, 6-0.
Nick, the best defensive work is when you match up against the best players and don't let them beat you. In this situation, they're going to have to make an adjustment where literally somebody's going to have to shadow this guy and follow him everywhere he goes, if you can do it. Because on a screen pass to any other personnel is one thing, but a successful screen pass to Helton, getting him in the open space is not going to work tonight or any night.
Extra point from Soden, up and good. And Bedford is going to cap off a 2-minute 49-second drive that goes in the end for 65 yards. There's the 49-yard hookup on the screen, and a great run after the catch you see there by Brody Helton.
A great run because of his vision. Coach Matthews talked about that the other night. The vision that this young man has is just tremendous, and watch him accelerate after he makes his cut. Look, watch this, right there. Now he goes. Look at that. To be that big and strong and then be able to finish is really something else. His lateral movement when he makes a cut is very unique in football. Watch him cut inside. Bang, there he goes. He avoids tackles, Nick, and he's extremely difficult to bring down. Every time I think I see sophomore on their grade 10, it just amazes me with the talent and the experience at a very young age that he has. But these sort of things can be developed at the youth football level, the basics and the cores, and then they come in high school and they can start really refining, and that's exactly what's happened with this young man. This group of sophomores comes from a really good sophomores and juniors comes from a really good class of players that are used to winning and expect it.
Soden's kick, short, end over end, takes a bounce at the 20. It's alive on the carpet, and eventually fallen upon by Seth Kia, the sophomore returner for Salem. So not great starting field position here for the Blue Devil offense. They'll come out 1st and 10 at their own 17-yard line. We get a look at the senior Noah Lumley for the first time. The quarterback, very versatile, and as you mentioned in the pregame, Steve, they're going to need a lot from him tonight if they want to advance.
Well, you saw there, that was a smart move by the kick returner, Nick, to just fall on the ball. Don't try to pick it up and run with it. You got to give your offense a chance. This crowd is getting in the game for Bedford. Salem's got to do something about it to stop it.
Kevin Tedisco on 1st and 10 is bottled up. That's Sheridan leading the charge defensively for Bedford. We know about Tedisco. Great two-way player for Salem. Still only a junior, but is expected to be the bell cow tonight out of the backfield for Coach Abraham. No gain officially on that first down run, so 2nd down and 10 on the way. Well, as you mentioned, a kind of war in the crowd.
Yeah.
With the Bedford fans.
They're ready to
and
go.
Salem fans here early on. Both have been very vocal. Lumley on the rollout is going to be lifted off his feet and driven down for a sack. That may have been a design run. It was, but either way, it's a loss and a big play in the backfield made by the Bedford defense. That's Bennett Matthews on the scene, this coach's son, with his first tackle, and it's 3rd and 13.
But all started, in order for Bennett to get there, he had to have a good defensive rush. That is form tackling right there. That's lifting and driving by Sheridan with support from other Bulldogs. The defensive line is completely consuming the line of scrimmage, Nick, and pushing back, and they're going to have to break it. You don't want to go backwards here. They're going to have awful good field position if you're Salem.
Salem hoping to avoid the 3 and out. Lumley on the rollout, going to tuck, looks for a block, and cannot find the 24-yard line. It's got Coach Matthews fired up on the Bedford sideline. As 4th down on the way, his defense forces a 3 and out.
Well, he took the ball because he has faith in his offense, Nick. turned out to be a great move. If you look at that offensive movement down the field, very effective. And then to have the defense come out and stand up again, they're going to wind up with super field position here. And this is exactly what Coach Matthew wants to do. Get up early to take command of the game at your home field with your home crowd.
Low snap.
What a kick.
The punt is off, and it's a good one from Gaudette. High in the air, fair catch is made at the Salem 49-yard line by Dominic Taliaferro, one of the speedsters for the Bulldogs. So Bedford with the early score, a 7-0 lead on the board. We've played 5 minutes here at Bulldog Stadium, and drive number 2 on the way for this Bedford offense.
That ball was on the ground on that last offense. I think that was the most critical play as of yet when Bedford fumbled the ball, and they had some players, Salem did, around the ball. They weren't able to get position, Nick. And then what happens after that is a great call by Zach Matthews and the offensive group on that screen. Let's see what they can do here.
Went 49 yards to the house. Helton got a big hole, going to skip through it, get a first down, brush it outside, and he's gone. Down the sideline for another 49-yard strike. This one on the ground. A one-play, one-touchdown drive there for Bedford as they now move out in front 13-0.
Take nothing away from Helton here, from Brody. But when you look at the blocking here on the right side, watch the blocking on the right side. 56-71, crush the defensive tackle. And then they get downfield blocking with a receiver, bringing him inside. And when you get a runner like Helton, he's going to find that crease, and there was a big one. And they're down now, potentially here after this kick, if it's good, 14-0 with only 6 minutes played, not even. And it's good. Bedford looking powerfully strong right now.
So, the defending champs making a statement here. With just over 5 minutes gone by, it's 14-0. The first score came on a black to Helton hookup from 49 yards, a screenplay that broke big. And there, an older variety, just a handoff, and next thing you know, he's untouched into the end
Watch
zone.
the blocking here. Look at the crush. Gets through, jumps right over. Watch the cutout. Look at that lateral movement. But look at the blocking downfield. Everybody's doing their job, making sure that every defensive player at the point of attack is covered and is being pushed back. And when you give Helton that kind of a speed room to gain speed and acceleration with the strength of that guy and the power in which he runs and the speed, to have everything in one package is just really amazing. So,
meanwhile, Coach Abraham upset, as you can see, speaking with our referee, John Reardon. Obviously very animated down there.
Yeah.
Not happy about something, presumably about the previous play. So Salem in an early hole, a nightmare start here on the road for the Blue Devils, trailing 14-0.
What was the call, Nick? Personal foul. Yeah, that's probably what Coach Abraham wasn't too thrilled about there, Nick, I would imagine.
So it's against Salem. It came on the extra point. It was our first flag of the game. It was not announced to the crowd. As a result, the Bulldogs will kick from Salem territory at the Blue Devil 45-yard line. And this one may or may not be headed towards the end zone. Dillon certainly has the leg from that distance.
They've got to do something. They've got to sustain a drive here, Nick. Otherwise, it just...
Soden's kick.
Wow.
Is headed towards the uprights. Ends up wide. And our cameraman, Matt Beals, is going to scoop it up behind the end zone. So it'll be a touch back, and Salem will bring it out to the 20, where the offense looks to at least pick up a first down here. They went 3 and out on their opening series.
We got that whole, we got everything on camera.
We do.
Yeah.
Salem, of course, 6-3 regular season. That includes an out-of-state loss at Wachusett. They dropped their last 2 against both Pinkerton and Londonderry in that order, but rebounded in a big way last week with the playoff win over Spalding. Tedesco is wrapped up at the line of scrimmage on 1st and 10 as it's dropped for a loss.
This defensive line, Nick, is just dominating at the line of scrimmage.
Alex Gradinskis there with the stop. So Tedesco's second carry, the same result as the first. He was stopped at the line of scrimmage, no gain.
Yeah, it's just great job. Great job there by Alex Grodinskis to get separation from the offensive lineman that was trying to block him. Tactically, good stuff.
2nd and 10.
Stays square, makes a tackle.
Play fake. Lumley on the rollout is going to throw an incomplete pass along the sideline.
Well,
and now a 3rd down and 10 coming up.
That's definitely what Lumley has to do, but they're running out of downs here again, Nick. The 3rd down and 10. Got to find a way, or got to find a play that can force the ball. But the defensive backfield of Bedford is just spot on right now. They are just locked down on their receivers. There was nobody and nowhere for Lumley to throw. And the thing about it is Bedford's chasing him, so it isn't like they're giving him any ground. So aggressive on all fronts defensively here by Bedford, executing well.
3rd and 10, rollout. In the backfield is Soden to pressure the throw, and that is ruled incomplete as Lumley was spun down on the attempt. So another 3 and out here, forced by the Bedford defense as they bring the punt return team onto the field.
Dylan is pumped up right now. You watch. This is that kind of motivation. Great job staying with it. He swings. He's able to contain his hold on the waist and took the balance away from Lumley, so no throw there. Did look like he was fairly open, but it would have had to have been a perfect pass.
Kick from Gaudet, high again. Underneath it. No fair catch this time by Taliaferro as he turns on the Jets' right side. Crossing midfield, little stiff arm at the 40. And then it's tackled high along the sideline. That's got the Bedford bench fired up.
Yeah,
and a flag is going to be thrown.
Let's take a look at this. Nice job. Nice lane choice getting outside.
And there's the tackle up around the face mask.
Yeah, they're not going to allow that. It wasn't the closest official, I believe, that threw the flag.
That's Ryan Bryant.
Yeah, he didn't break down. You got to break down to make that tackle. I don't think it was out of bounds. I think it was grabbing the around the helmet area.
It's
was the reason for the call. Yes, face mask, yeah.
So that'll help Bedford out.
Yeah, you got to break down on that tackle.
As they're going to tack on yardage here to the end of what was already a good run back from Taliaferro.
Well, right now, Nick,
15-yard penalty is going to spot the football inside the 25-yard line.
Wow.
So that's 2 personal fouls here early on against Salem. Bedford now on the doorstep of the red zone, working on a 14-0 lead just past the midway point of this opening quarter. The defending champs go back to Helton, dances at the line of scrimmage, and is tackled from behind for a minimal gain. That's Daniel Hughes, one of the co-captains.
Flag down.
There's a flag at the line of scrimmage, so
there's some frustration here somewhere.
Penalties coming swiftly here over the last few minutes.
Bedford matchup, if you go right down the defensive line, Nick, and the offensive line, they're just winning those individual battles. Another penalty. Yeah, you got to maintain your composure here. It's not going to get better. You got to dig in and change things. Change the paradigm. That's the only thing you can do here.
So 3 penalties so far, all against Salem, all personal fouls, for a grand total of 45 penalty yards. This one spotted at the 10-yard line. And we've got ourselves now, I believe, a 1st and goal. That ball is right on the 10-yard line.
10. Yep.
So 1st and goal. Bedford already threatening to make this a 3-score difference. Sheridan in motion left side. They go to Helton. He cuts it up. He's at the 5, and he's dragged down from behind at the 4-yard line.
He is elusive. This, I've seen him all year, Nick, and he's an amazing runner, but he's on fire tonight. Look at that inside slide move, and then he gets square again and starts driving the legs. He's got a lot of gifts.
Lucius Mosier may have saved the touchdown there with the tackle for Salem.
I agree.
One of the Salem seniors. As we move inside of 5 minutes, Bedford facing a 2nd and goal from the 4-yard line. All right, Black going to stay here in the gun. Put another man in motion. Hand to Helton. Get popped at about the 2-yard line. Took a shot up high and dropped just inside the 2.
He's inside the 1.
The 3rd and goal coming up.
Hey, Salem hoping 1-yard line.
Salem hoping to buckle down here and either force a field goal or force an upcoming 4th and goal.
Exactly.
Either way, Bedford threatening again to make this a 20-point game. Helton now, the tail in the pistol. It's a dive right side. He's going to keep the legs churning.
Can't stop him.
And he's in the end zone for a touchdown. The sophomore already with a hat trick here in the first quarter. His 3rd touchdown comes from just 2 yards out. And Bedford well on their way here early on. It's 20-0 with just over 4 minutes remaining in the first quarter.
Nobody has manhandled Salem to this degree, Nick. Obviously, Pinkerton and Londonderry were in control of the game, but this is an amazing display of offensive power here and defensive stoutness that just looks like it's good.
So a 2-yard touchdown.
Impressive.
Run by Brody Helton, capped off with the extra point by Dylan Soden. And just like that, it's 21-0. Bedford out in front. Well, we spoke with that man right there, Coach Matthews, earlier this week on FNL Gridiron, our weekly Thursday night preview show. And he said his squad was anxious for this one. He had heard the whisperings in the media that Bedford had not faced a quality schedule in terms of opponents. Of course, he dismissed that, but his guys were kind of fired up by that talk and looking forward to taking on this tough Salem team. And, well, they've obviously had a couple of good weeks of practice as they came into this one, and they got the start they were hoping for here, 21-0.
It's Portsmouth got what was a little slow to get started off of their bye. Bedford's come out with an explosion of offense, defense, everything, and they're keeping their composure. One of the things that Salem has got to do is stop these personal foul penalties, Nick, because they're taking any opportunity to try to get back in the game away from them. They're giving just making themselves go backwards, and just strengthens the opposition when that happens. You gotta stay cool.
So he's going to send this down the middle. It's going to roll into the end zone for a touchdown. A touchback, excuse me. And it comes back out again at the 20-yard line.
With 4:12 left in the first quarter, it isn't like there isn't time. But you've got to, at this point, Nick, you've got to cut down on that margin. This is a critical time for Salem. They've got to reach into their playbook and try to get a sequence of plays that's going to provide them the opportunity to just move the sticks. They got to get the right flow, stay penalty free, protect the football, and change at least the field position. But right now, Bedford's just not giving them any window whatsoever with everything they've thrown at them so far.
Temperature dropping a bit as well, below 40 degrees now with the sun down. On 1st and 10, the pitch right side is taken by Tedisco, and he will fight his way upstream to the 25-yard line. A good
Hard
gain
work.
Of 5 there to set up 2nd down and 5. Tedisco's 3rd carry so far. Well, as we know, this Salem team, pretty young when you factor everything in. A few seniors, of course, have started really all season long on both sides of the ball, but this group primarily
juniors,
made up of juniors and sophomores, and the future, of course, is bright for next season. Here's Tedisco on 2nd and 5, trying to find some room on the sideline, and he does. Escapes 2 defenders, ends up out of bounds at the 45-yard line after a big gainer. 1st down, Salem.
Take a look at this. This is just relentless. This is a guy that says, not on my watch. And look at that. Look at that stiff arm. Look at that turn inside. So coordinated, Nick. And number 13, Luke Soden, saved a touchdown.
It's a 26-yard pickup. Just what the doctor ordered for Salem.
Yeah.
Their longest play from scrimmage so far in their first down of this first quarter. 3.5 to go. They fake to the fullback. They hand to the freshman around the outside. He's across midfield. Tackled around the waist at about the Bedford 47-yard line. The Bulldogs, Bennett Matthews. But Sean Salkovitz, his first carry, looked good there. Colin Salkovitz, excuse me. one of the very few freshmen at
we
the
saw
varsity
him
level
in the other games, and he did it. Coach was getting him in. I mean, you get him as a look at the way he runs like that against one of the top teams in the whole Division I. I mean, this team has got as Nashua North does, has a ton of talent coming back next year, but they want it this year. You know that
Lumley,
they're not interested next year right now.
Calls his own number and escapes right side for a first down. Going to tiptoe out of bounds after a 4-yard pickup. So Salem, after going 3 and out on their first 2 possessions, starting to get a little bit of rhythm here at the Bulldog 42-yard line.
Well, they're starting to get a little edge. They're double teaming on the edge, Nick, and that's creating a situation. If you don't block inside and overtake their defensive bookends that Bedford puts forth there with Sheridan and company, you're not going to get anywhere. So what they're doing right now is they're double teaming down on them and getting a blocker that's pulling ahead, and it's working for them right now.
Quick hitter up the middle. First carry here for Talon Walton. He's the junior and one of their more fiery players. We saw him exchanging some words with the Bulldogs earlier in this quarter. A couple of stops on defense so far for the youngster. That's his first carry here on offense, and it goes for 4 yards to set up a second down and 6.
Yeah, this is what Salem has done all year, win or lose. They've been able to move the football.
Tedesco in motion. Lumley on the rollout. The throw caught by Walton. Turns upfield and does pick up the first down at the 32-yard line. A good field awareness there after the catch to stay in bounds and move the sticks.
Well, I said one of the keys to the game was Lumley getting outside, Nick, if you remember. And this has got to happen, but if you've got to control the defensive ends, because that's who's been nailing him and tackling him and making it difficult for him to throw. It looks to me like they're on 4 plays here of the 6 that they run. They're beginning to cave that defensive end. Is working for them.
Lumley back to the air. The throw is incomplete. A diving attempt there by the tight end Ivan Colon III, who has played big as of late for Salem, but could not reel that one in. 2nd and 10 coming.
Obviously, it's an almost impossible throw. But Felix Gonzalez was wide open here on the left side of the hashes here, but there's no way you're going to be able to hit that with the rushing, with the defensive penetration and pressure. Yeah, that's coming in from Sheridan. What else is new with that young man? He is something else.
Sheridan, one of the finalists for the Ukeka Player of the Year award. Lumley on the rollout. And he'll be dropped in the backfield.
Not going to
Chased
happen.
down out of the secondary by Peter Suazo, the junior corner. And a good open field tackle there is going to bring up 3rd and long.
Yeah, obviously Bedford's spent a lot of time in the field room. I'm sure Salem has as well. But Bedford really showing the defensive intelligence ahead of time to recognize the play and know where it's going and almost anticipate it and be there early. And that's exactly what happened right now. Then you take that alongside with the talent and the athleticism that this defensive squad has, and there you have it right there. So that's a tough loss right there. It's one thing, 3rd and 9, 3rd and 8, but this is 3rd and 16.
Gonzalez in motion. Lumley throwing downfield. It's up for grabs, and it's intercepted. Picked off with a leaping attempt by Dominic Taliaferro. He's got the game's first takeaway. And Bedford has the football back inside their own 15-yard line.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if that's going to be much different than a punt, Nick, if they were going to punt, but that was probably 4-down territory, so you really got to look at that on 3rd down. If that happens on 4th down, that's one thing. I'm sure the big play of that was not necessarily – the interception was important, but it was the play over here against Lumley to sack them and have them lose, 7-8 yards there. That was a huge play. But Salem did move the ball, but until they can stop Bedford from scoring, Nick, it's not going to matter much. But they're going to have to get in the end zone to begin to cut down this lead and have a couple of defensive stops to stay current here.
So back to work for Brody Helton. Left side run.
Unbelievable.
And he's going to reverse direction here. Finally step out of bounds after gaining over 20 yards there on that rush up to the 42-yard line. That's a gain of 28.
It's just look at how he reads the defense. Look at the vision. Boom. Desai cuts on a dime. And then just recognizes, it's almost like he's in a corn maze and he already knows how to get to the other end when he can't even see it. He's just got tremendous vision, and he's able to see things that normal people can't when they're running the football, and he has the athletic ability and strength to do it. This guy's a rare breed right here.
He's had a monster first quarter. Black going to air it out, looking for Bennett Matthews downfield. It's incomplete, contested well there by the junior corner, Caleb Smith.
Yep.
Who may have gotten a piece of that. It'll bring up 2nd down and 10.
Yeah, Bennett ran a good route there. It's just looked to me like Danny kind of really skied that ball. That ball just had so much hang time, gave the defense an opportunity, and he turned around. He was beat, but he was able to recover very quickly, as good defensive backs do, and was able to bat it away.
Coach Matthews taking a shot.
Yeah.
Try and open up that box maybe a little bit here.
Yeah, I mean,
it's been almost exclusively run so far.
By one individual, really.
Of course, the
Brody
screen,
Helton.
The first screen pass went to the house, a 49-yard touch, and then 2 touchdowns from Helton after that.
It's a big possession here.
2nd down and 10. First carry for Jack Rizzo, one of the Bedford veterans. Good pile drive out of bounds late there. Aaron Mosier is going to be flagged for a late hit. That's going to be the 4th personal foul against Salem in this first quarter. Hughes was there first to meet him along the sideline, and then it looked like
we gotta see
number
it here.
59 in white, Lucius Mosier,
when the runner's carrying you out of bounds, it looked to me like there might have been a little extracurricular after. We'll see it here.
It's on the second guy.
That's all good stuff right there.
Right, but it's Mosier there.
Yeah, but he's way out of bounds, second
Right.
man in. Clearly you can't do that.
Right.
Absolutely. And coaches are very upset with the that. I mean,
it's got to be driving Coach Abraham
literally
nuts.
crazy. Yeah, I mean, these penalties have had a huge factor in the game, Nick, but not to the point where Brody Helton isn't just running it down the field in the end zone. But what I mean by that is it's really putting Salem themselves in a situation.
That's 60 penalty yards in the first quarter.
That's just, you can't sustain that against a team that you're in parity with. With the Bedford Bulldogs, number 3 seed.
One of 3 unbeaten teams.
One of 3 unbeaten teams
in Division I this season. Pinkerton and Portsmouth, of course, were the other 2 and are the top 2 seeds in this tournament. Both teams advanced, by the way. Portsmouth, a 20-0 win last night over Nashua North, and earlier today. Last night as well, Pinkerton got the win in a blowout fashion over Bishop Girton, 55-20. Londonderry advanced earlier today, downing Exeter 27-7.
Yeah, right.
That will do it for the first quarter here in Bedford. A statement being made by the defending champs as they jump out in front 21-0. Salem looks to respond when we come back. You are watching our Friday Night Lights New Hampshire Game of the Week, presented by Beals Insurance.
Our broadcast today, as it always is brought to you by Beals Insurance Agency, with locations now in both Bedford and Londonderry. Whether you need home, auto, or business insurance, Beals Insurance will get you both the price and quality coverage that's right for you. Just call 603-471-9999 or visit BealsInsurance.com to request a free quote and start saving money today. Again, that's BealsInsurance.com.
Second down and 5 here. Bulldogs back on the march with a 21-0 lead as we begin this second quarter here in Bedford. Helton will sidestep to his left. Going to be tackled around the waist by Tedisco, shy of the first down marker. Should bring up a 3rd down and 2. Nick Anastas, Steve Beals with you here in Bedford. It's been the Brody Helton show early. The sophomore, 3 touchdowns in that first quarter. over 100 rushing yards already, and a 49-yard catch and run to his resume. Did all that work on just 11 touches.
Yeah, I mean, one of the things that's happening must be really frustrating for Salem. They're meeting, when they're actually beginning to meet him at the line, he's still getting 5-yard gains, Nick, because he just drags the defenders along with him and then falls forward. He's always doing things based on grabbing every inch that he possibly can. The offensive line's doing a good job.
Meanwhile, a whistle here.
This is going to be an interesting call because I can't tell if it – it's timeout. Okay.
It's a timeout by Bedford.
That's why. I didn't see anything.
Our broadcast tonight brought to you by Beals Insurance. Locations in both Bedford and Londonderry. Whether you need home, auto, or business insurance, Beals Insurance. Get you the price and quality coverage that's right for you. Visit BealsInsurance.com. By MG Sports Fundraising. That's fundraising made easy. MG Sports Fundraising is the official fundraising partner of Friday Night Lights New Hampshire. Visit MGSportsFundraising.com. Start raising money for your team today. By New Hampshire iPhone Repair. It's done while you wait, and it's backed by our lifetime warranty, their lifetime warranty. Now with 5 locations in southern New Hampshire and on the Seacoast. Visit NHIPhoneRepair.com. By the New Hampshire Tomahawks. Showcase and development for college lacrosse. Visit NHTomahawks.com and also girls.NHTomahawks.com. And finally, by Spectrum Monthly. Powerful, local advertising solutions. Find out more at SpectrumMonthly.com. Nick and Astis Steve Beals with you here in Bedford. Quarterfinal round. Bedford, the defending champs, looking for their 10th win on the season, out to an early 21-0 lead. Facing a 3rd down and 1 here from the Blue Devil 31. They keep it on the ground. Helton, a slashing move there as he sidesteps a defender and lands inside the 30-yard line after a gain of 2. That's enough to move the sticks for Bedford.
You know, passing routes and a passing attack is, you got to have it today. There's no question, no argument there. But when you've got a running attack like this, Nick, it just forces an uneven amount of resources defensively that you've got to apply to a Brody Helton. And what that does, as soon as all of a sudden they start tackling him, you know why, and that's because, and you know that the receivers are going to start to be open. And Zach Matthews doing a great job. I thought that screen pass early in the game was a big play in this football game.
Play action, Black throws over the middle. That one incomplete. A bullet intended for Luke Soden, who got the step, but that one incomplete will bring up a 2nd down and 10.
Luke Soden runs very disciplined passing routes. He's always where he's supposed to be. He's got good height, good extension. What happened right there was Danny Black had to sidestep there for a second. He had to kind of open up a little space in that pocket, and that kind of forced his mechanics to change just a little bit, and he sailed it. But make no mistake about it, that's a great inside seam route run by Luke Soden. Been very impressed with him all year, Nick, with the tracks that he takes. And I always talk about this. Don't ever think that the quarterback can't get it to you, and Luke Soden doesn't do that. He runs his routes as if every time in precision, so his quarterback can count on where he's going to be.
2nd down and 10. Rizzo in motion. Black hands to Rizzo. Going to plant the foot. And is spun down at about the 25-yard line. Rizzo picks up 4, maybe 5 yards to set up a 3rd down and 5.
But this is what's happening, Nick. They're even when Salem they're already 2 yards back on the line of scrimmage, off of the line of scrimmage because they're getting blocked out, and their tackles are kind of they're backpedaling when they're making the tackles, which is allowing the Bedford quality runners like Jack Rizzo, like Brody Helton, they're able to lean forward for an extra 2 yards every single carry.
Taylor Walton with his 3rd stop on that previous play. He's been the tackle leader so far for Salem. Screenplay, Bennett Matthews trying to find the 20-yard line, won't.
Nice job.
Tackled by Walton and company where at about the 21-yard line, looks like a yard shy. And Bedford now with a decision to make on the upcoming 4th down.
This only works. This would have been for a loss, Nick, if it wasn't for number 71, Connor Flaherty. If we see this on replay here, just a terrific job of getting out outside the hash marks and making that block so he can cut inside and run. What a terrific job.
That catch actually made by number 13.
You're going to see
3.
it right here.
That was Luke Soden's first catch.
Watch right here. You're going to see look for number 71 execute this right here.
4th and 2.
Throws it out.
Salem's fan, they're chanting defense. We got 2 backs surrounding Danny Black in the gun. Little play fake,
nice
little dump pass, caught for a 1st down. Helton runs a man over at the 10-yard line and carries another with him into the end zone for his 4th touchdown here of the first half.
It's like
a screen
locomotive.
pass, and it goes for 22 yards to the house. And Bedford dominating here with 3 minutes gone by in the second quarter. It's now 27-0.
Just punishing the defense, Nick. He's just, you think of the Diesel, John Riggins. You think of Allstott. You think of so many runners that just, that go back, that just lower their shoulder. You can't wrap his thighs, Nick. He's just too thick to do it. And with all those other God-given attributes, this guy's fun to watch. He really is.
Now 4 for 4 on the extra point attempts. And it's all Bedford here early on. 28-0. Brody Helton having a game to remember. The sophomore with 4 touchdowns, 2 on the ground, 2 through the air.
Yeah, I mean, I start naming off Riggins and Zonker and Allstott and those type runners, Nick, but he's a good open field runner as well. He's got all the tools. When you need 5 yards, he's Larry Zonker. When you need to take the house, he's Barry Sanders. This guy is, as a high school running back, as a sophomore, it's just unbelievable, the maturity in this young man and the way he gets it done. Look at this. Watch him lower his shoulder. Bang. He just punishes it.
Able to keep his balance there.
What do we got here?
A pretty good hit by
Flag.
Gonzalez.
What happened out there?
Well, it's been a game so far of personal fouls against Salem. We've seen 4 flags thrown against the Blue Devils of that variety. And I think we've got another one coming here against Salem.
There was somebody, was a coach on the field or no? Don't know what happened.
May have been after the kick.
I think it was, Nick.
If so, well, we know it's a personal foul. It's now 5th. Yeah, they're going to tack 15 onto the kick here. It'll be the second time the Bulldogs have kicked off from the Salem 45-yard line. 5 personal fouls against Salem in this first half for a grand total of 75 penalty yards. That's the only penalties that we've seen so far.
Yeah, apparently what it was there was a player that was talking to the ref after the play was over, which obviously you can't do that. And that's totally up to the head coach if there's a conversation to be had. And they threw the flag. So you got to maintain your composure. I haven't seen this in Salem at all, Nick, really, all year. It just you can just sense the frustration. But you got to maintain composure all the time.
Tedesco going to pick this one up at the 2-yard line, make his way to the left.
What a move.
Still alive at the 15-yard line before he's dropped at the 18.
Yeah, he came to play tonight. Got a player down, looks like, for the Blue Devils, number 52.
A little slow to get up is Sam Boreas, the junior. No, sorry, he's a senior. Boreas. Yeah, he's going to drop to a knee here as the officials blow the whistle.
Yeah,
it comes with just over 3 minutes gone by in this second quarter. The winner, of course, will face Portsmouth in Portsmouth. In that game, from my understanding, most likely will be scheduled for this upcoming Friday night as opposed to Saturday.
I think you're wishful thinking, Nick.
Well,
I'm right along there with you. I certainly hope that's the case.
We're hoping for that, and from what I understand, that may be a possibility.
Be in the works.
And then, of course, on the other side of the Division I bracket, it's set for another annual postseason meeting between Londonderry and Pinkerton. Astros, no problem with Bishop Girton last night. Londonderry, they disposed of Exeter earlier this afternoon. So it'll be the Astros and the Lancers on one side of the bracket. Portsmouth will play host to the winner of this game on the other side of the Division I bracket.
I saw about 3 quarters I watched of the Londonderry game. It was just line of scrimmage, manhandling there.
Meanwhile, Saltovich on his second carry is going to be whistled down in the backfield. Matthews able to come up from the secondary to wrap him up for a loss.
Ty Miles was outstanding in that game, just driving the defenders back, Nick, and creating. And it isn't just Ty. That whole line front defensively and offensively, Nick, as we've seen this year, is just a tremendous group of players, as is this group from Bedford. Second half, I thought Portsmouth lines looked very solid as well, and we know Pinkerton's line is that Coach O'Reilly's got a good group there as well. So
double handoff up the middle. Goes Gonzalez.
Uh-oh.
I believe, Steve, that's just his first carry of the game. Meanwhile, there's a lineman shaken up. That's Ralph Tashjian. The junior is still down, so injuries here starting to pile up against Salem in the second quarter.
Yeah, he's in some pain there, Nick.
Tashjian trying to get up, but is banged up. So we've got a stoppage here with 4 minutes gone in the second quarter. Big crowd tonight. We expected it. Always seems to be the case here in Bedford. As you can see, a standing Bulldog section that runs several rows deep.
Yeah,
and Salem, I'm impressed by their turnout as well as they made the trip up
They
Route 93.
know this program, Nick, is, like we talked about before, is extremely young from the standpoint of what they're playing against right now. But Bedford's got some very strong contributing sophomores and juniors as well. So both of these teams, as you look to the future, have, Bedford's going to reload again. If you had to judge by some of the players that are in here and the success of the younger guys at the levels below, Salem, same situation. A lot of these guys are going to come in next year for Salem with a tremendous amount of experience. Playoff experience is critical. Win, lose, or draw, it doesn't matter. If you get playoff experience as a younger player, it's so beneficial when you become an upperclassman. They're working on him. I don't know if that's a cramp, Nick. Usually when you see them out there, or it's a knee issue, but he seems to be, doesn't appear to be getting up anytime soon here.
Well, both training staffs are now involved. Eric Gelinas comes over from the Bedford sideline. Of course, Coach Abraham is right there with the junior lineman. Meanwhile, Coach Matthews looks like continues to work the officials.
Yeah, well,
in the meantime,
Coach Abraham was looking at the head official as he was walking out to the injured player, really frustrated. You're going to see it right here. Look at 77. Here he goes. He's pulling, goes upfield. Yeah, he went right down. We got a Fireman Ed style guy down there pumping up the crowd and the student section.
Trying to keep this crowd engaged here as this delay continues. They
really
got now
spending
4 or
some time.
5, 4 or 5 different adults looking at the youngster.
Hopefully
Coach Matthews
okay.
is going to trot onto the field here as well to speak with our referee, John Reardon. Well, this one got off in a very quick fashion in Bedford's direction. Just 3 minutes into the game, a 49-yard screen pass from Black to Helton put Bedford in front 7-0. Salem went 3 and out. Bedford on a short field made short work of drive 2, just one play. And again, the magic number 49 as Helton scores on the ground from 49 yards out to make it 14-0. In the final 4 minutes of the first quarter, again, after several personal foul penalties hurt Salem, Bedford cashes in from 2 yards out. Helton, his third touchdown. And our score after one was 21-0. Helton already over 100 rushing yards in that first quarter. Then Black to Helton moments ago on a 22-yard pass. Helton, 4 touchdowns. The kicker, Soden, is 4 for 4 on the extra point attempts. Bedford also with 1 takeaway, an interception thrown by Salem's Noah Lumley, picked off by Dom Taliaferro. So that is where we are, 28-0, with 4 minutes gone by here in the second quarter. The player down for Salem is the junior tackle Ralph Tashjian. And the longer he is down, well, the more frightening the prognosis, perhaps.
Yeah, I don't know.
As this doesn't appear to be a cramp at this point.
No, it's. I don't think so. There is. Hard to say. I don't know if there's a possibility we could see that again to see if it was upper or lower. I can't tell if it's up. Oh, there he is. It was out of replay. Watch number 77. Right there. He just goes right down. I don't know what that could be, Nick. I didn't see anything with a lower body. I'm wondering if it's almost, yeah, he's in, it was an immediate pain, Nick, there. Looks to me like they may be waiting for, got a lot of personnel out there right now, medical personnel. Here we go one last time. And yeah, don't know what that is, but he just, well,
Salem's going to
certainly
huddle
hope
up.
he's okay.
Bedford's going to huddle up, and we're going to take a break.
Yeah,
How's that sound?
sounds good.
When we come back, we'll see if we make any progress, hopefully, with the youngster down on the field. Bedford in front 28-0. We'll be back in a moment. You are watching our Friday Night Lights New Hampshire Game of the Week, presented by Beals Insurance.
Our broadcast today, as it always is brought to you by Beals Insurance Agency, with locations now in both Bedford and Londonderry. Whether you need home, auto, or business insurance, Beals Insurance will get you both the price and quality coverage that's right for you. Just call 603-471-9999 or visit BealsInsurance.com to request a free quote and start saving money today. Again, that's BealsInsurance.com. How can you reach your team's fundraising goals at no risk and no cost? MG Sports offers a variety of products to make your team's fundraiser a success. Their products include tickets and discount cards to hundreds of local businesses. MG Sports now has a digital platform where athletes can raise funds in the comfort and safety of their own home. Don't waste another season. Raise more funds than ever before and become another football program in New Hampshire that sets fundraising records every season. MG Sports, fundraising made easy. Visit mgsportsfundraising.com to start raising money for your team today. The New Hampshire Tomahawks promote the highest level of club lacrosse competition, not just in the state, but in the country. Looking to get recruited? Director Chris Cameron keeps an open dialogue with the nation's top college lacrosse coaches. Over 400 New Hampshire Tomahawks alumni have played at the college level, including the ACC, Big East, Big Ten, Ivy, NESCAC, NE10, and more. New Hampshire Tomahawks coaching staff has over 100 coaches, including current high school varsity and college coaches. The Tomahawks offer training for players of all ages, clinics, camps, and leagues, along with spring, summer, and fall elite teams. So play with the best. The New Hampshire Tomahawks, showcase and development for college lacrosse. Visit NewHampshireTomahawks.com and girls.nhtomahawks.com.
Hey, I'm Chad, the owner of New Hampshire iPhone Repair. We're New Hampshire's most trusted and affordable repair shop for your iPhone, iPad, iPod, and even Android needs. Don't worry, we're affordable, reliable, and we back our parts with a lifetime warranty. And do you know what the best part is? No, what? We can repair your phone while you wait.
I know, that's why I'm here.
Oh, I know, Mrs. Green. Here's your iPad, good as new. Bring your phone into New Hampshire iPhone Repair today.
Buy local and save big. For over 26 years, Spectrum Monthly has been providing great local offers from businesses in New Hampshire and Massachusetts, delivered to your mailbox every month. Spectrum is chock full of savings from your favorite businesses. From local restaurants and retail stores to entertainment, fitness, and home improvement services. You'll have easy access to thousands of dollars in savings, including exclusive offers for Spectrum readers. Every month, enter our readership contest for a chance at winning cash and local gift certificates. Spectrum Monthly, no one brings you better offers.
All right, we're back here in Bedford. Nick Anastas, Steve Beals with you. Bulldogs out in front, 28-0 over Salem. We've had a multi-minute delay here with a Salem player still down. That's Ralph Tashtian, the junior lineman who was shaken up and did not get up following the previous play, which is now about 10 or 12 minutes ago in real time. It comes with 4 minutes off this second quarter clock. But the concern continues to grow on the field. Both head coaches checking in. Coach Abraham's been over there the entire time. Both athletic training staffs are involved. And we may or may not at this point be waiting on an ambulance as this delay continues to stretch out. It's, of course, quarterfinal action here on Friday Night Lights, New Hampshire. The winner looking to get to the semifinals, where they will face Portsmouth in Portsmouth next weekend. Bedford with a big effort from sophomore running back Brody Helton, over 100 yards in that first quarter. He's got 4 total touchdowns already. And Bedford has also been able to invoke 5 personal foul penalties against Salem in this first half. I suppose a combination of personal fouls and unsportsmanlike conduct. But either way, it's been all Bedford to this point. The defending champs, after a 9-0 regular season, earned the 3 seed in this 13-team Division I tournament. One of 3 unbeatens and one of 3 teams to earn a first-round bye a weekend ago. Salem coming in after a 55-34 win over Spalding in the preliminary round. And, of course, the Blue Devils went 6-3 during the regular season overall. So Coach Abraham and his staff still on the field with the youngster. I can hear at this point some ambulance sirens in the background. And yes, indeed, the ambulance now making his way towards the field. So we continue to monitor the situation up here on the roof of the press box.
Here comes looks like the medical.
The ambulance is on the way.
Vehicle, yep. His family out there, Steve waved them on, so he's with his folks.
So everybody continuing to hang on edge here as we get a look at the ambulance going to back its way down here.
Yeah.
Well, Steve, what do you do if you're either head coach? Obviously, your concern is with the player. If
Absolutely.
You're Coach Abraham, that's first and foremost.
Steve loves his players. Truly loves his players.
But you've got also the other kids on the team here. I guess essentially just waiting to get going. How do you keep them engaged? How do you balance the concern with the job ahead?
Well, traditionally, if it's something where a player is just, it's a leg or something, obviously something like that, you go and you just get your players, keep them warmed up. But in this situation, the players, when he's down like that, everybody should just sit down and relax and keep what's most important in their minds here, and that's this young man. That's kind of what's going on right now. So obviously there's not much you can do other than as far as coming out after we get the game started again. I think you've got to stop hurting yourself. I mean, Bedford's a powerhouse football team. They're just demonstrated how explosive they are in so many areas. And, Nick, they can do so many things. What's impressed me is over to Bedford, they've played a very, very clean, tight game, Nick. They're winning the individual blocking battles. They're winning the penetration battles offensively and defensively when the defense is on the field. Their special teams are becoming no more really than just catching the ball, letting that offense get back. A lot of fair catches when they are kicked to them. But most of the time, in a situation like this, Nick, you've got to put together the drive. If you're Steve Abraham, you got to like what you see there going down the field, and then they get another personal foul. So, to me, there are 2 key plays in this game, Nick, that I think that represent, kind of show on the Bedford side. It was that screen pass that they did. All of a sudden, Steve starts doing what he should do, expending more resources, getting to the quarterback, taking whatever it takes to get to the quarterback, cut down the time. What do? Coach Matthews calls a screen pass, and it goes in for a touchdown. The other play that was really a big play to me is when it was 21-0 at the time, and Coach Abraham's team is working the ball down the field. I think they were down in like the 28, 29-yard line, might have been the 31, 32, and it's 3rd and like 6.5, somewhere around there, and they have a 7-yard loss with that tackle over near us, and then at that point, the next play, they end up throwing the touchdown because they throwing the interception. Those 2 points in the game were times when at the time that screen pass was thrown, Nick, I think it was 3rd and 11, if I'm not mistaken.
3rd and 9, yeah.
3rd and 9, okay. Yeah. And so that's a big swing right there. It looked like Salem was going to be able to stop them, and that happened. And then now they're moving the ball down the field, and then they have that big loss. Those are just two plays which kind of give a 100-foot level of where this game has gone. But the third rail on this thing is the lack of composure that the players on the field have with Salem. You cannot. It's one thing to have a hold. It's one thing to clip somebody. It's one thing to have a offsides or something like that. But when in between the plays, you've got to maintain your composure, Nick. And that's really hurt them in this game. It's given Bedford two of their touchdowns were on very short fields. And Brody Hill just ran downhill there and got in the end zone. Then the other 2 touchdowns have been very well-run, systematic drives down the field. Looks like they're getting – to me,
if we can get a shot of what's going on the field, we see that the ambulance is down on the field at this point. They've got the stretcher, and the paramedics are preparing to lift Tashjian, it looks like, onto the gurney. Coach Abraham, who's been on the scene the whole way, is still down there. The officials, you can see, huddled up as well.
Usually, these are precautions taken today like never would happen really in the old days. Today, they're very sensitive about making sure that if there's anything, north of the waist, Nick, they're going to be very cautious about making sure there's no movement that's unnecessary while they get him in to examine him.
We've seen in cases in the past where they'll cut the shoulder pads wide open.
Wide open. Yep, right there. So
the jersey, everything else. His helmet has been removed. We can tell that.
Yep. He's getting a lot of quality attention out there. So
meanwhile, Bedford on the opposite end of the field are going to begin, it looks like, to warm up.
Yeah, I would.
As they jog their way towards the end zone. We've had a delay now going on the better part of 20 minutes or so.
Yeah. A lot of players from Salem going out to support their teammate and friend.
Yeah, now the entire team
team's going out.
Is gathered around.
Steve brings a culture to the Salem football program that is all about what you're seeing right now. This is a close-knit group of guys.
Yep.
We've had good opportunities to see Salem throughout the year, and that game against Wyndham was just a real battle, Nick, and they worked their hearts out to come with a win there. And I thought did a good job as a young team when they've faced the iron. They're facing Bedford tonight. They faced Londonderry. They faced Pinkerton. And
all recently.
Bang,
right.
Bang, bang. And these young men, and I mean young, as a group, as we just talked about earlier, are going to have a great opportunity to play stiff competition at a high level. But right now, all eyes are on
again,
this young man.
The player is Ralph Tashjian, the junior lineman.
Looks like they have him up. It certainly appeared, Nick, like he was raising his arm up. When you saw him, it certainly appeared that way.
Now, meanwhile,
earlier on,
the Bedford players have returned to the home sideline and are down on one knee.
That's how it should be.
Again, this comes with nearly 4 minutes gone by in the second quarter. Well, other scores from this weekend, as we mentioned. Last night, we were in Portsmouth where the Clippers shut out the Nashua North Titans by a score of 20-0. That complete broadcast is on our YouTube channel, FNLNH Media. Portsmouth will play host to the winner of this game as the number 2 seed. Top seed, Pinkerton, put up 55 in a win over BG, 55-20 was that final score. Another semifinal appearance for Coach O'Reilly's Astros. Yep. And they will face their next-door neighbor and longtime rival Londonderry after the Lancers beat Exeter today.
One isn't enough.
27-7. That's become really an annual postseason meeting at this point. And once again, the stars align, so we'll have Lancers and Astros on one side, Portsmouth and either Bedford or Salem on the other side.
One of the things, Nick, obviously some of the time that's been taken here, we can pretty much surmise you got to get the helmet off. You've got to do all the things to be able to get the person immobilized the best you can, and very, very careful and methodical about that. And let's give him a hand as he.
Yeah, they've got him, and they're going to wheel him away.
Nice crowd here.
And a classy
showing their
send-off.
support.
Yep, from both the Salem and Bedford fans.
Looks like they're talking to him, so.
Well, a scary moment, especially if you're his teammate.
Yes.
As we know, Salem, they got a big hill to climb here, football-wise in the game, but emotionally, when one of your own goes down like that, it's a challenging experience, to say the least.
Well, I am certainly hoping and expecting the best for this young man, Nick. To me, if you look at the way that they're just working him up, to me, my hope is this is just a precautionary measure to make sure that the outcome of his healing is the best, and we'll certainly, from FNLNH and our whole crew, our prayers are with him for the very best care that he possibly can get, and all the support here and above that.
And a commendable job as well, to
very commendable.
The athletic training staffs.
Yep.
Who got the ball rolling.
And we all know, Nick, you and I both know, you were raised, I raised my kids here in Bedford, and growing up Bedford, the Bedford fire and paramedic and emergency crew is just outstanding. So can certainly attest to that. They're a tremendous group.
Yeah, I'd say he's in good hands at this point.
Yes, sir.
He's being loaded into the ambulance. Now the warm-ups have commenced on both sidelines here as players try to get back in rhythm after nearly a half-hour delay due to the stoppage.
Zach put a stop to the conditioning thing right away. Nothing but class here as they were all kneeling on down the line. Plenty of time to get this game going. I thought that was a nice gesture by Zach. And
right, so now both head coaches
Yep.
focusing on getting their players back up to speed here.
Now's the time to do that.
Reminder, Thursday night, we're back with another edition of FNL Gridiron presented by Beals Insurance.
Semi-final week.
It'll be the semifinal edition in Division 1. Of course, we'll preview the D2 final in that one. And congratulations, by the way, to Trinity.
Yes.
After they were victorious today in the Division 3 championship.
A little different score than the first time, right, Nick?
Got a little bit of revenge on Campbell after the Cougars beat the Pioneers by a final of 6-0 in the regular season. Trinity with an explosion today to wrap up the Division 3 title. So congratulations
What was
to
the
Trinity.
final score of that one?
I know, Steve, you've got a soft spot in your heart for the Pioneers.
Well, two boys played there, and interestingly enough, the Coach Burns was their head coach for the freshman and sophomore year that they played at Trinity, who's now a member of the staff and of Salem. And my two guys loved him and certainly felt as though he liked them, and very spirited coach. So to all of the coaching staff and all the players of Salem, we stand with you, hoping for the best for this young man.
By the way, that final, Steve, Trinity 42, Campbell
I knew
12.
You'd get it. How much?
12.
42
to 12.
Oh,
right.
I thought it was in the 20s, Nick. I had no idea.
42-12 the final. Meanwhile,
Back in
Tedisco,
action.
as we resume, is going to pick up only 2 yards on a left side run. And now a 4th and 5 is coming up. By the way, the early reports we're getting a head, unofficially a head or a neck injury there with Tastian, so the precaution obviously very necessary.
Yep.
And again, we
wish
him the best.
Appears to be,
got out with the punt. It's fielded by Taliaferro, and he's got a room to the left side. Only 2 men to beat at the 30-yard line. He's met at the sideline at the 25. is tackled down at about the 24-yard line. Another big return, but there's a flag on the play. A couple of flags are down near midfield. See the frustration there from Taliaferro.
Well, he's waving everybody back. The official is, so back official. So
this may be, Steve, just the first penalty
on Bedford
against Bedford here in the first half.
Let's see if we can see anything here. I don't know if it was a block in the back. Oh, yeah, it looks like it was a block in the back. Right, it was very quick before the screen there, but there may have been a block in the back. That would have been where his call, his area to make the call would be. I have a funny feeling that's what it is. Let's see here. Yeah, there's a block in the back right there. Yeah, no question.
So the run back is brought back all the way to the Bedford 34-yard line. A very costly penalty.
Is it me
there.
or have we dropped about 10 degrees the past 20 minutes
or
so?
It's downright cold at this point. We started the game at about 41 degrees, and we're down to just 36.
Yeah.
And again, up here on the...
Feels like 16 to me, Nick.
On the roof of the press box, it's maybe even chillier with the wind.
Thank goodness for battery-operated jackets.
5 minutes gone by, second quarter, a 1st and 10 for Bedford. Pitch to Helton, trying to shake off
holding
Walton,
on.
Who's going to drive him down for a loss of 1. That's Taylon Walton's 4th tackle already.
You got to, though, Nick. You got to play defense with emotion. Composure, but yet composed emotion. Play right on the edge of crazy. And that's what he held on to Brody with every bit that he had, and that just showed that's the kind of spirit. I know the score is what it is, but don't underestimate the game and the toughness and the physicality and the spirit these young men from the Blue Devils have played with this year.
Walton's a member of that talented junior class.
Yeah, another junior.
Expected to come back next season. 2nd down and 12 after the 2-yard loss. It's Rizzo. Pretty good stiff arm as he approaches the 40. Going to step out just shy at about the 38-yard line. A 4-yard pickup on Rizzo's third carry.
Speaking of emotion, Mr. Rizzo never runs the ball with anything short of full-bore, steam-ahead emotion. He's a very active runner, Nick. You talk about the stiff arm there. He does it all the time. He's looking to gain leverage against the tackler that's coming after him, and he's able to extend plays and get extra yardage due to that toughness and that technique that he uses. Not an overly big guy like a Brody Helton as far as thickness is concerned, but he gets the job done in his own way and does it extremely well. 3rd
down and 6. Black, a clean pocket. Got a man over the middle. It's complete. That's Luke Soden, who's got a Bedford 1st down into Salem territory at about the 46-yard line. Dropped there by Kalen Smith.
Yeah,
Bedford going to move the sticks as we approach the midway point first quarter.
I think he's the best route runner on Bedford's staff. I'm sure there's many that would fit that category, but to me, he's a guy that you can just count on to get separation from the defensive backs. Watch this movement here right across the field. He knows where the seam is, and he runs to that open green space within his route pattern. And the other thing I said, Nick, he always finishes his routes too. He never slows down.
Here's Taliaferro on a wide receiver screen. 1st down and then some. Going to weave his way inside the 30, stood up at the 25. Get an extra 2 or 3 at the tail end as he's down to the 22-yard line. Taliaferro had the big play on special teams wiped out moments ago. Makes up for it here with a good grab that goes for 26 yards and a Bedford 1st down.
Absolutely. Taliaferro takes the right. Look at the movement there. Always looking for that seam to be able to extend yardage. Whoever's teaching running with a football, with your receiver with yards after the catch or you're a running back, these Bedford players are really impressing me, Nick, the way that they are able to find open space and grab every yard possible due to their vision and their movement.
Final 5 minutes of the first half. Black on a rollout to his right, steps up, throws a dart into the end zone, but it's incomplete. Broken up there by David Gasparo.
Yeah, nice work.
Got a hand on the football in the end zone to deny the pass, and that'll bring up 2nd down and 10.
This is an area where you're down 28-0. You don't want to give up. Just like Nashua last night. Never gave up in that football game, Nick. They played right to the last play with heart and passion. And when you can only do what you can do, looks to me like they're more composed right now. I'm sure Steve's had an opportunity to speak with them a little bit about that. And this is where you learn how to play playoff football as a young group at a high level against one of the top teams in the league. A lot of people feel Bedford should be number one. Power poll, they did pretty well at that. But
here's Helton. Left side run, he's at the 15. Stiff arm at the 10. Changes direction at the 5 and leans down to the 4-yard line.
He's a one-man gang.
The first down for Bedford.
Got another flag.
Flag back at the 22-yard line in the backfield.
Yeah, usually that means there's a hold. It wasn't a cadence-style penalty or a delay of game or anything like that, obviously. It's usually that's a hold. Yeah, there's a hold, right? You'll see that right on the – not even involved, never would have made a difference in the play, but close enough to the point of attack. Watching the backside. See him hold right there. Number – oh, yeah, and he's still holding on. Yeah, can't do that.
Second hold against Bedford here in this second quarter.
The officials – as far as every time we look at a replay, we find an infraction. We've
seen 7 total penalties.
Yeah.
In this first half.
Yeah,
5
and
against
2,
Salem.
right? Yeah.
And the last 2 against Bedford. So, second down and 20 with the football at the 30-yard line. Black in the gun, Helton to his left. Sheridan is the wing to the right, in motion. They hand to Sheridan. And a tight end run is going to produce about 4 yards as the 6'5 senior grinds his way down to the 27-yard line. A gain of 3 officially. And now a third down and 17 coming up. Clock ticking down towards 4 minutes here in the second quarter. Well, as we were saying earlier, Steve, on FNL Gridiron coming up this Thursday, we'll speak with several head coaches, as we always do, get the media involved, as we always do, and really set the table for next weekend's semifinal action in Division I. Third down and 17. Black, quick throw. Bullet caught by Soden. Going to make his way down to the 15-yard line.
Wow.
And here come the flags.
Yeah, this is no need for that, Nick. That was a matter of almost a full second coming in late on that. You got to maintain. And I couldn't – I mean, sometimes what happens, they'll fall in. They're already falling. We'll see in the replay. Didn't look like that initially to me, Nick. Looked to me like just a –
We've seen that now several times.
Yes, we have. And you can't have – that's how players can get seriously injured. Let's take a look here.
There's the catch by Soden.
Oh, yeah, that's just –
And then it looks like the 4th Blue Devil on the scene
that's not –
was way after the whistle.
That is not where you get your money's worth. Yeah, not –
I think that was Salem's Ryan Tout.
Officials were all over it.
He's played well up front all
he
season for Coach Abraham.
He sure has.
Was late to the party there. The personal foul is going to move the ball half the distance to the goal and set up a first and goal from the 8-yard line. Black, quick throw, knocked down. Nearly intercepted there as Gasparo again got his hand on the ball.
He got a piece. Yeah, he got a piece. He's playing some good defensive back, Nick. And you go up teams against Bedford, you better have a loaded defensive backfield. And for all of you watching tonight, thank you for staying with us. And don't forget to subscribe. FNLNH Media. Hit the subscribe button. When you get in there, if you want us to notify you when we're going live, be more than happy. We don't send any junk. We send just the notifications of when we're going to go live with a game. So love to have you join us on FNLNH Media. Become a subscriber.
Yeah, now is as important as ever as we head down the stretch. Sheridan for a touchdown.
Wow, just great up front blocking all the way across.
The tight end going to score on a handoff from the 7-yard line, and Bedford now making it a 34-0 game, a point away from triggering a running clock in the second half.
Yeah, Sheridan's been a guy that we've watched. It's really hard to figure out which side of the ball he's the best on because he's outstanding at both. Another Ukeka, one of the 10 Ukeka nominees, Nick, and I'm sure he's going to get support from a lot of people to to and well deserved at that. Very special player.
Extra point is good. And it's 35-0. That's the magic deficit, so to speak.
Yep.
But I believe that applies only in the second half with the running clock. We'll find out, I suppose. 3:32 remaining before halftime as we get another look at the Sheridan run. They put him in motion. They hand to him to the left. Got two good blocks there. And he's in the end zone for the touchdown. So Sheridan on his second carry of the drive makes this a 35-0 affair. Again, it was the Brody Helton show in the first quarter. The freshman with 3 touchdowns, had the hat trick in the first 12 minutes, over 100 yards on the ground on 10 carries. Added another touchdown in the opening minutes of this second quarter on a 22-yard hookup with his quarterback, Danny Black.
Yep.
And there it's Sheridan, who takes over the goal line rushing duties, scoring from 7 yards out.
Danny's made good choices of when to pass and when not to pass. Thought he did a good job there. He had one sail, as I remember. Everything else has been pretty much on target. On a very cold night, piggy skin is hard. And, so Danny's been solid all year long for him. He's a mission-oriented quarterback that, like Lumley, that follows what the game plan is and executes pretty much all the time.
Meanwhile, this play is whistled dead. As Bedford, a little early there on the kick. That's not a call you see often.
Well,
so the third,
I don't think we've seen that all year, have we? Yeah.
The third penalty against Bedford is a 5-yarder.
Yeah, crowd is still majority here, but little thinning out. Saw some folks heading out after that last score, but
this game kicked off at 5 o'clock Eastern. We had a nearly 30-minute delay due to an injury earlier in the second quarter to Salem junior Ralph Tashtian, who had to leave via ambulance. And, of course, it's now in the mid-30s temperature-wise here in Bedford, so some folks, given the 35-0 score, starting to find the exits. Meanwhile, Soden's kick handled inside the 20-yard line.
Into a wall.
This is Salkovitz, the freshman, runs behind the wall up to the 35-yard line for his drop by Ledger Russell, the senior, for Bedford. So pretty good run back and pretty good starting field position for Salem, 1st and 10 at their own 35.
Is it beyond 35 or is it 35 running clock, Nick? I always...
It's 35. My question is it the second half?
I think it's the second half, yeah.
And that is the case because the clock right now is frozen at 3:23.
Yeah, it has to happen in the second half. Good rule, though, Nick. I mean, it's always unlikely that you'll be able to turn around, but I have seen games go the other way.
Little trickery here. Smith going to launch a pass down the sideline of the quarterback, Lumley, who makes a leaping grab inbounds at the Bedford 46-yard line. It's a gain of 14 and a first down.
That's quite a play. Good job, Lumley. Shows his versatility and multi-talents. That ball, I'll say that's frost on the pigskin right there. That ball was up there, let me tell you.
That's a mark for sure. Double handoff. Tedisco, left side, is dropped inside the 45. Pretty hard hit there by Eli Goomis.
Strength and conditioning with these Bedford players, Nick. Both of these teams. But the core strength that these guys have is really impressive.
It seems like it gets more beefed up, so to speak, every year. Not just in Bedford either, but really statewide.
Any program that is worth its salt has got a great strength and condition. You got to have it. Central, foundational.
2nd and 9. Quick give to the fullback. This is Daniel Hughes. I believe that's the senior's first carry. Forward progress is going to mark him down at about the Bedford 44-yard line. Sheridan, another stop for Bedford after a gain of 1 there for Hughes.
The part of the strength and conditioning, Nick, over the last couple decades, been heavily weighted on muscle twitch, on creating speed, agility, minimizing, a lot of stretching, minimizing injury, potential for injury. So it's all integrated in the strength, and then the conditioning for cardio, and then a strong approach to create a body that is more pliable and resistant to injury.
Final 100 seconds. They fake to Hughes. They keep it with Lumley. Tries to find room on the outside, but will not. Met at the line of scrimmage there by Matthews. And now a fourth down coming up here inside the final 90 seconds.
We've seen a lot of Salem, Nick, and very seldom have I seen Salem foiled at the edge. They've always been able to work their way pretty consistently around the edge. Bedford giving them a hard time tonight, doing a great job defensively of coming up, recognizing a lot of that is film work, recognizing the play and reacting to it.
4th and 8.
These guys are ready.
Gonzalez in motion. Lumley on the drop back. Throws incomplete. Found the rush coming at him up the middle. Well timed by Gradinskis.
Yeah.
Forced the early throw. And Bedford going to take over after the turnover on downs with just under a minute to go here in the second quarter.
Yeah, a lot of this offense is, of the Blue Devil offense is just for that. Getting off around the edge, extending the width of the field and utilizing it and trying to get front-end blocking to just open it up a little bit for them to go. Bedford's done a terrific job following that out. Their speed and agility is equal and then some to what they're facing, and Salem struggled on that. And without that, that puts them in a very unique situation that they haven't been used to. First time I've seen it against Salem all year. Salem's played some
Rizzo in
aside
motion.
from Londonderry and Pinkerton,
To reverse for Taliaferro, and look out.
Yeah, he's gone.
Green grass and white stripes ahead. One man to beat. Gets a block from Helton, and Tagliaferro is going to score from 56 yards out to make it 41-0.
Outstanding open field runner, Nick. He understands angles that the defense is taking towards him, and he's able to kind of geometrically figure ahead. He's got great vision, and he knows his angle that he needs to take in order to minimize the defender's ability to get a frontal square tackle on him, and does a great job. Jack Rizzo pumped up right now with his teammates on the sideline. Bedford feeling really good at this point, obviously. Why wouldn't they?
Taliaferro, a 56-yard touchdown run, looking impressive on his way to the end zone. Meanwhile, Soden, he's 5 for 5 with that right foot. Hoping to extend this Bulldog lead to 42-0. And it's perfect, right down the middle. So 42-0, Steve.
Yep.
With 47 seconds remaining, Bedford looking every bit as advertised, so to speak, on their way already to a 10th win this season.
I think they're kind of beating what was advertised, quite frankly, Nick. I've got some friends that I used to coach with in the youth league, and they were telling me how confident the football community and the inside Bedford Bulldog football program, how confident they were coming into this game. And it's one thing to be confident, but it's another thing to execute it when it's showtime, and they've done that for sure tonight in spades.
Looking to make a statement, perhaps they've done that.
Look, Salem has been a very respected opponent all year, and they've earned that. And Bedford's just winning every phase of the game, doing all the little things and the big things and everything in between to dominate almost at every position. Lumley, been very high on Lumley, good quarterback, solid quarterback. I haven't seen Lumley struggle to run the ball with any other team, including Londonderry and Pinkerton, as much as I've seen that tonight here in Bedford. But
Lumley has been contained
and
on
Tedesco,
the ground and in the air. Tedesco did rip one run for 26 yards, but outside
overall,
of that, he's been under 4 a carry. This one is kicked out of bounds at the 20-yard line. That'll draw another flag. So a procedural penalty here against Bedford. Coming up at halftime, look back at that first half with stats, highlights, analysis. Get the weekend scoreboard as well. All the tournament scores from Division 1, 2, 3, and 4.
Are you going to do a wrap-up of what's happened in this game? We got to leave your 30 minutes to do that. Holy smokes.
Yeah, we've seen the score sheet expand over the course of this first
Yeah, a
half.
lot
So
of
we'll get you
connections.
all the scores, all the big stats, all the highlights from that first half. And
Yep.
again, 2 championship games to report on as well in D3
Yep.
and D4. And in D2, the matchup is set as well. So a lot to get to coming up at halftime. Meanwhile, Tedisco is going to run out of bounds. Pushed out by Matthews, close to the first down stick, a couple of yards shy, I suppose. An 8-yard gain for Tedisco will set up 2nd down and 2 with just 40 seconds now remaining.
You got 40 seconds? Wow. Nice picture of Coach Abraham and Lumley as quarterback, and they have had a great relationship.
Yep.
And one that's open, and Steve lets him know what he thinks at all times, and Lumley seems to really appreciate that. So
Here's Hughes on a fullback dive. It goes for a first down. He chugs his way up to the 49-yard line. Give Gradinskis credit for his second stop. And that clock is going to tick here, Steve. Steve Abraham not too concerned with stopping it here for Salem as he looks just to get his team to the locker room at this point.
Yep.
Been a long and trying first half for Salem. Here's a pitch. Gonzalez on his second carry, dropped along the sideline, tackled inbounds, right at midfield.
Actually surprised it's been this long since we've seen that play, Nick. That's the first pitch that I've seen. And, you know, if you're going to try to get outside, that's one of the fastest ways to do it and best ways to do it when you're getting chased down.
That'll do it for the first half
There you go.
here in Bedford. It's all Bulldogs, the defending Division I champs, looking like it through the first 24 minutes of action. Brody Helton already with 4 touchdowns for the Bulldogs. All right, as we said, stats, highlights, analysis, full recap, and a tournament scoreboard coming your way in just a few minutes. Bedford 42, Salem nothing. You are watching our Friday Night Lights New Hampshire Game of the Week presented by Beals Insurance.
Our broadcast today, as it always is brought to you by Beals Insurance Agency, with locations now in both Bedford and Londonderry. Whether you need home, auto, or business insurance, Beals Insurance will get you both the price and quality coverage that's right for you. Just call 603-471-9999 or visit BealsInsurance.com to request a free quote and start saving money today. Again, that's BealsInsurance.com. How can you reach your team's fundraising goals at no risk and no cost? MG Sports offers a variety of products to make your team's fundraiser a success. Their products include tickets and discount cards to hundreds of local businesses. MG Sports now has a digital platform where athletes can raise funds in the comfort and safety of their own home. Don't waste another season. Raise more funds than ever before and become another football program in New Hampshire that sets fundraising records every season. MG Sports, fundraising made easy. Visit mgsportsfundraising.com to start raising money for your team today. The New Hampshire Tomahawks promote the highest level of club lacrosse competition, not just in the state, but in the country. Looking to get recruited? Director Chris Cameron keeps an open dialogue with the nation's top college lacrosse coaches. Over 400 New Hampshire Tomahawks alumni have played at the college level, including the ACC, Big East, Big Ten, Ivy, NESCAC, NE10, and more. The New Hampshire Tomahawks coaching staff has over 100 coaches, including current high school varsity and college coaches. The Tomahawks offer training for players of all ages, clinics, camps, and leagues, along with spring, summer, and fall elite teams. So play with the best. The New Hampshire Tomahawks, showcase and development for college lacrosse. Visit NewHampshireTomahawks.com and girls.nhtomahawks.com.
Hey, I'm Chad, the owner of New Hampshire iPhone Repair. We're New Hampshire's most trusted and affordable repair shop for your iPhone, iPad, iPod, and even Android needs. Don't worry, we're affordable, reliable, and we back our parts with a lifetime warranty. And do you know what the best part is? No, what? We can repair your phone while you wait.
I know, that's why I'm here.
Oh, I know, Mrs. Green. Here's your iPad, good as new. Bring your phone into New Hampshire iPhone Repair today.
Buy local and save big. For over 26 years, Spectrum Monthly has been providing great local offers from businesses in New Hampshire and Massachusetts, delivered to your mailbox every month. Spectrum is chock full of savings from your favorite businesses. From local restaurants and retail stores to entertainment, fitness, and home improvement services. You'll have easy access to thousands of dollars in savings, including exclusive offers for Spectrum readers. Every month, enter our readership contest for a chance at winning cash and local gift certificates. Spectrum Monthly, no one brings you better offers.
Halftime here in Bedford, and it's all Bulldogs. 42-0 over Salem. Nick and Astis, Steve Beals with you in our Friday Night Lights New Hampshire Game of the Week, presented by Beals Insurance. Quarterfinal matchup between number 3 Bedford and number 6 Salem. Bulldogs undefeated during the regular season, one of 3 unbeaten teams to go 9-0 in Division I. Based on the strength of schedule, Bedford technically finished behind both Pinkerton and Portsmouth and earned the number 3 seed, but don't be fooled by the seeding. Bedford, after 9 blowouts, really the closest margin of victory was 21 points during the regular season. That was in a game that was shortened due to weather against Nashua South back in week number 2. A week off last week in the preliminary round due to the bye. It did not slow down Coach Matthews' Bulldogs at all, as they found pay dirt on their first drive. 3 minutes in, senior quarterback Danny Black on a screen pass to sophomore tailback Brody Helton. Helton, after making the catch, did the rest, went 49 yards to the house to put Bedford out in front 7-0. The ensuing possession, Salem's first. They went 3 and out. Bedford, just one play later, handed the ball to Helton, and he found pay dirt from, again, 49 yards out to make it 14-0. Final 4 minutes of the first quarter. It's Helton again, this time from 2 yards out to complete the hat trick. 3 touchdowns in that first quarter, over 100 rushing yards on the ground, 101 to be exact on 10 carries. Second quarter, more of the same. Black to Helton, this time from 22 yards out. And less than 3 minutes into the second quarter, it's a 28-0 Bulldogs lead. Final 3:32, Kevin Sheridan, a 7-yard touchdown run for the senior tight end. And then one more for good measure, coming with just 47 seconds remaining in that first half. Dom Taliaferro, a 56-yard electric-style run to make it 42-0. Salem had their share of penalties in that first half. 5 unsportsmanlike conduct / personal foul penalties, totaling 75 yards. Actually 6, totaled 83 yards. One of them was a half-the-distance penalty. Bedford on the other side, 4 total penalties for 35 total penalty yards. The game was also delayed nearly a half hour, about midway through the second quarter, when Salem junior lineman Ralph Tashjian had to be carted off the field due to an undisclosed injury. So our thoughts are with Tashjian and his family. And, of course, our thoughts are with all the veterans out there in the audience as well here on Veterans Day. We appreciate your service. So, Bedford, a commanding 42-0 lead, looking to punch their ticket if they can hang on to this big lead in the second half. Of course, it'll be a running clock as well due to the 35-point gap. And earlier this weekend, the other 3 semifinalists earned their quarterfinal victories. Top seed Pinkerton beat BG last night 55-20. Number 2 Portsmouth shut out Nashua North by a final of 20-0. Earlier today, number 4 Londonderry earned their 10th win of the season, 10th overall win, with a dominant 27-7 victory over Exeter. In Division 2, Steve, as we run down these scores.
Yeah, it was a big one there.
Pelham, we know they rolled,
beating
St. Thomas and extending their win streak to now 40 games. They will meet.
What was the final there?
They will meet Plymouth after Plymouth knocked off Sauhegan in an upset, 21-20. That game was up in Bobcat Country. Served as revenge for Plymouth after they lost earlier this season.
Plymouth's a hard place to win a ball game. They have a home field culture up there, an advantage that's just.
So congratulations to the Bobcats.
Congratulations to them, yeah.
They'll face off against the Pythons in the D2 final next weekend. And in Division 3, we have a new champion, Trinity. They beat Campbell also in a revenge game, 42-12 the final there. And in Division 4, revenge seems to be the theme, Steve, is Somersworth topped Newport in the finale by a final of 21-7. That was revenge from earlier this season when the Tigers
hard to beat a team twice. It really is.
So D3 champs Trinity,
all wrapped up.
D4 champs Somersworth. D2 final is set between Pelham and Plymouth. And, of course, in Division 1, Bedford looking like they'll be the fourth and final semifinal team to join Pinkerton, Portsmouth, and Londonderry. Here's a tackle as we're underway here in the third quarter. Pretty good return up to the 34-yard line by the freshman Salkovitz.
That's quite a hit right there. He's game. He's coming right through the hole full speed. And who was that, 36?
Yep, Cam Santos, the freshman.
Santos, wow.
How about a freshman linebacker with a good wrap?
That's a good wrap. Yeah.
So, as we mentioned, with the gap at 35 or greater, we have a running clock for the final 2 quarters. Bedford with 4 down linemen. We're seeing some of the reserves in there. Salem going to stick with their starting quarterback, the senior Noah Lumley. Got a new fullback in the game who's going to take the carry for just a yard, pick up Alexander DeVoe. There's a senior getting some action here in his final game.
Well, I imagine with running clock, Nick, if that holds, it's with all the running that both of these teams do, it's going to run the clock down and run the second half down pretty quickly. And
already a minute in here.
Already.
Second down and 9. Lumley under center. Hughes is right behind him. They fake to Hughes. Lumley trying to find the sideline. Now going to cut it up. Gets back to the line of scrimmage. Picks up 2 yards, but is tackled shy of the 40-yard line.
Usually Lumley can run almost perfectly lateral down the line, but when the defensive line is able to penetrate, Nick, and almost create somewhat of an arc, Lumley's got to go another 2 or 3 yards back, and that just by the time he turns around, he's about 6-7 yards and back of the line of scrimmage. Still had a modest gain of maybe a yard, but that's a long way to run to get a yard. Bedford defensive line has just been solid tonight.
They've held Lumley to just 2 yards, Steve, on 6 carries.
I know.
Meanwhile, Gonzalez finds a seam and finds a first down. He's across midfield.
Young man that I've really enjoyed watching this year.
He's at the Bedford 48-yard line. Gonzalez, I think they only called his number twice.
Yeah.
In that first half. That's his longest run from scrimmage.
Normally he'd have 7, 8, 9 carries every half, Nick. 10, 12 a game. You know, he's a pretty productive runner for him alongside with Tedisco and Lumley on the QB runs, but
goes for 8 yards and a first down. On the Bulldog 49, here's Walton. Going to break it out right side. He's inside the 35.
Oh, nice run.
Tackled from behind at the 30-yard line, eventually brought down by Landon Elsmore, the sophomore.
Looks like Zach Matthews has got some
it's an 18-yard gain.
Some subs in and obviously give them some playoff experience.
I think that's a fresh 11.
Yeah, I would agree.
On the defensive side, not a starter remaining.
And, of course, most of the Salem crew was the starting crew are
still in there.
Are still in there because they're sophomores and juniors anyway. So Lumley, of course, a senior. And
it's a good run for Taylor Walton, 18 yards on the pickup. Pitch to Salkovitz, the senior. Going to hit the line of scrimmage with some speed. Turns his back to the defense at the 20.
Yeah, good
Still
running.
Fighting his way down to the 12-yard line. And another big gainer of 20. Let's get the Salem fans who are still here pretty fired up. Salkovitz, 2 carries, 4 yards in that first half. Picks up 20 more here on that carry.
Yeah, this Salem fans probably a little frustrated tonight, Nick, and can't blame them. Obviously want to come in here and give them a better fight than but it's just where Bedford is right now in the scheme of things, Nick. This is a solid football team, but
play action rollout. Lumley throws to the end zone, incomplete. Overshoots the target. Kalen Smith took a pretty good shot upon the release.
I was going to continue there with Salem. It may not be there tonight, but everybody knows that the Salem football team is stacking up through that freshman, sophomore, and junior class, and Coach Abraham and his staff and the community at large is going to have some really exciting football coming up. I think for a crew, if you look at the record of these guys this year and the performance from week to week. Regardless of tonight, whatever happens tonight, this has been a good year for Salem in the quarterfinals. It's a very young group.
6-3 during the regular season. 6-2 against NHIAA competition. A playoff win last week over Spalding.
And their only losses, let's just say they don't come through tonight. Let's just say that doesn't happen, doesn't look good right now. The only teams they lost to are Bedford, Pinkerton, and Londonderry.
Yep.
I mean, that says it all right there.
Yep. Of course, Wachusett out of state, but we don't
I don't
factor that in. But
that Wachusett's pretty good football team.
Salem, by all accounts, Steve, will be on that short list of Division I contenders.
I would agree.
Next season. Tedesco in motion. Lumley hands to Walton. He's hit immediately.
I think the hardest thing for Salem tonight, Nick, is they believed. You could tell with the leading up to the game, and Steve Abraham is a very, very proud coach of his guys. And when you look at this and you look at some of the quality players that aren't starting on this team that are in there right now, you can clearly see they have high degree of athletic ability and good football acumen. The way that that's just right down through the whole system of coaching. So
shows the depth.
But Bedford this year for sure, they're playing the team that on the power poll has been rated number one all year long on the power poll.
Right.
Not in the seeding necessarily, but
right. And it looks like another blowout win on the resume coming up. Tedesco on the pitch. Breaks a tackle, trying to fight for that end zone, and he's in.
He did. Yep.
For a touchdown. The ball came loose, but it crossed the goal line first, according to the line judge. And on sheer effort, Kevin Tedesco is going to put Salem on the board here at the midway point of the third quarter. It's now 42-6.
Boy, that's a great shot that Matt got down there on the field. Look at that. And you'll see he just skimmed. Look at that. Just got through. He hit the pylon at the 45-degree angle, so that is a touchdown. So good job. Whoa.
Extra point is blocked. Kick by Gaudette. Somebody got a piece of it up front for Bedford, so it stays 42-6.
I think it's fair to say, Nick, thank goodness for car heat, huh? When you can turn on the old car. My feet have just thawed out in that 10 minutes we were able to be in there.
I think that was Luke 10 who had the block kick.
Yep.
Number 70 in black, the 6'2", 230-pound sophomore. Got, I believe, his left hand on it, so it's 42-6. But Salem getting the job done there on a 6-minute drive, capped off by a 10-yard score by Kevin Tedesco, or a 5-yard score, I should say.
Nice run by Tedesco right there.
He's been fun to watch this year.
He has been a lot of fun to watch. And all
right, Salem will tee it up at the 40-yard line. One of the Bedford fans just said, watch for the onside kick. And I think that's a pretty
folks out there, just
pretty good thing to watch.
Tedesco's been a stud tonight as far as the effort and the ferocity in which he's played. Remember, this man's a junior as well.
Yeah.
So
they're going to kick it deep. And the return here goes across the 25-yard line. Solkovitz is going to spin down the ball carrier at the 30.
Speaking of underclassmen, Nick, is it going to be
Alex Corriveau with the carry? Sorry, Steve.
Yeah, no problem. Speaking of underclassmen, Nick, is it going to be a lot of fun ahead of us that Brody Helton's going to be on the team for another 2 years. That it's going to be very interesting to watch.
Helton, of course, the rushing champion in Division I this year.
By a pretty good margin.
By a wide margin.
Wide margin.
And the only sophomore on the finalist list for the Ukeka Player of the Year award.
Which generally is senior. That's usually a senior group.
So it's an honor to even get on the list.
Honor just to be on the list, never mind being on the short list.
New quarterback here for Bedford, Jack May, the junior. And he may be the heir apparent behind senior Danny Black. It's certainly far from determined at this point, but he's the first guy that Coach Matthews turns to here in this second half at the quarterback spot.
Yep.
Meanwhile, a 3-yard pickup on the run there. Bring up second down and 7. Clock moving again inside of 5 minutes, third quarter. May going to put a man in motion, hand to him. Dustin Westcott, is the runner. He's up to the 35-yard line. Walton, another tackle, Steve. It's now 5 by my count out of the secondary for Salem. One of those kids that's going to go hard to the final whistle, as we know. Bit of a chess piece as well. We've seen him not only line up in the secondary, but at the linebacker spot as well. You can see him kind of shadowing the edge here.
Yep.
For the upcoming play.
Not a big guy, but boy, you see.
Another fun player to watch.
Yeah, he plays bigger than he is.
Meanwhile, Salem showing blitz here. May is going to toss on a left side run, trying to find the corner is Corriveau. And he's dropped, but he gets a first down at the 44-yard line. Hughes in pursuit with the tackle for Salem. Gasparo is there as well. And a first down there on what looked like a 6-yard run for Corriveau. It's his first carry of the ball game at a kick return to set up the drive. As we move towards 3 minutes now remaining third quarter. This one all Bedford from the outset. 3 touchdowns in the first quarter by sophomore Brody Helton. And then in the second quarter, Bedford extends the lead with scores from Helton again, Sheridan, and Taliaferro. Here's Lesser Russell Ledger. Did his best just to get back to the line of scrimmage as Salem able to swarm the runner on a right side attempt. No gain on the play, second down and 10. Walton, another tackle.
The fact that both of these coaches, Nick, are kind of putting these groups of guys in and giving their younger players an opportunity to get some playoff feel in football is a big deal for these guys.
And we know about Russell. He's been a big part of their success, not only this year, last year as well, when the backfield was a bit banged up. He's a good defender.
Yep.
He's going to line up wide here to the top side of the screen on second down and 10. They're going to put him in motion. Hand off Corriveau, and he's hit hard. Yep. Dropped by, I believe that's Cologne.
It is.
Ivan Cologne III getting some defensive snaps here. We know him for his play on offense as the tight end.
Well, if you've got a name Ivan Cologne III, I guarantee you're a tough guy.
I'd say he's on the short list for the all-name category.
I mean, that's it, right in, kind of like synonymous with Ivan Putski. And that's just name Ivan, Nick. It's just a great football name.
I like it. Third and 10. Well, Salem starting to stiffen up a bit here on this drive. Of course, the offense found a way to put together a six-minute scoring drive to get on the board to begin this second half.
Yep.
And now hoping to get the offense back on the field if they can force a stop here. It's 3rd and 11. Already down to 1:20 remaining in this third quarter. May barking signals. Corriveau to his left. Man in motion is Westcott.
Yeah. He crossed the line.
Somebody jumped early, it looks like. So a false start.
Delay
a game.
Delay a game.
Yeah. Game clock kind of creeping up there on Bedford. First penalty of the second half either way goes against the Bulldogs. So 3rd and 10 becomes 3rd and 15. 3rd and 16 officially. Coach Matthews still coaching up his guys as hard as ever down there on the sideline.
Well,
as you know, as a former head coach, Steve, this is a time of the game where the result is pretty much in stone, but it's important to monitor what's going on in the field with some of these younger players, as you have said over and over. This one is deep and incomplete. Pretty good arm there shown off by May, but overshoots the target. And now a 4th down and 16. You want to see who's still going hard and who's going to catch your eye, right?
Yeah, well, I mean, these are also opportunities as you to give them peer experience with their with their peers across the ball, and you kind of want to see how they match up. And I think what Coach Matthews is attempting to do here is not just sit and watch these guys, but actually get them engaged and have maintain high expectations, as Steve is doing across the way there. Both of these coaches are built. You can't run a high school program. You've only got these guys max for probably 2 or 3 years.
Right.
Once in a while, an occasional freshman, but yeah.
End of the third quarter. Right back to Bedford in just a moment. Bulldogs looking to put the finishing touch on an impressive quarterfinal win. 42-6, you're watching our Friday Night Lights New Hampshire Game of the Week, presented by Beals Insurance.
Our broadcast today, as it always is brought to you by Beals Insurance Agency, with locations now in both Bedford and Londonderry. Whether you need home, auto, or business insurance, Beals Insurance will get you both the price and quality coverage that's right for you. Just call 603-471-9999 or visit BealsInsurance.com to request a free quote and start saving money today. Again, that's BealsInsurance.com.
Start of the fourth quarter here in Bedford. Nick and Asta, Steve Beals with you. Glad you could join us here for this quarterfinal matchup between Bedford and Salem. Bulldogs with a comfortable 42-6 lead. Here's a pooch punt from the
Almost
quarterback,
blocked.
May. Nobody is back deep for Salem. Caleb Smith will pick it up and turn upfield as he crosses the 40, is tackled at the 42-yard line by Russell. So Salem will bring the offense back onto the field. Again, if you're joining us, if you're just joining us, you missed the Brody Helton show back in that first half. Over 100 yards in the first quarter, 3 touchdowns, had 4 overall scores by halftime.
It's a good name for it.
It appears like his night is over, along with the rest of the Bedford starters, but nonetheless, the rushing champ having another impact game here in the postseason.
You don't see a Brody Helton every year. I mean, this guy is, I think back, Manny Lattimore for Pinkerton was a guy who was a sophomore, was just a dominant player.
Yep. There's a 10-yard rumble, up the middle here from Salem's Alexander DeVoe. Tackled by Westcott, and a first down on the way for Salem.
Who else would fit that mold as a sophomore, Nick?
It's rare.
Yeah.
It's rare at D1 anyway.
Obviously, Philistine from Central, just a completely dominant player. He may have been as a freshman, if I'm not mistaken. Of
course, you had Joey Graham at the quarterback
Maryland, right?
spot. Was a 4-year starter for
Who's that now?
Portsmouth. Joey Graham a few years back.
Absolutely.
Excellent football player and excellent basketball player as well. Brought them 4 state titles, 2 in D2 and 2 in D1.
Yep.
But those athletes are,
few and far between.
Right, a decade apart typically.
But Brody Helton
is in that group.
Is in that group in the sense of his performance and his numbers and his production. And not only that, what he did tonight against Salem, I haven't seen anybody do Salem all year long with anybody to dominate to that level. I mean, there's other factors that go into it. Good blocking line, good play structure, good play calling. All that goes in and helps. But at the end of the day, it's the things that he does, Nick, after he gets through into the secondary that just make him, a special player.
Yeah, he's got that combination. Power, speed, he's shifty. And
like I say,
he was
a Zonker and a Sanders kind of packed into the same package. How do you do that,
Yeah, he's the real deal, and he proved that earlier tonight.
And ball security. I mean, when do you see him,
only one giveaway tonight. That was a turnover by Salem. Interception by Taliaferro back in the first half.
Ooh.
Big collision along the sideline. Let's get Coach Matthews fired up.
Give
Clark. Westcott another stop.
Is that Nate Clark, number 22? Yeah.
Nate Clark right there.
Yep. Yeah, Nate came to play tonight.
And Westcott's got 3 tackles on the drive.
Yep.
For Bedford. 3 minutes in, fourth quarter, running clock. Here in the second half, Salem hoping to show a little bit of face here.
Yep.
They had the 1 score to begin the third quarter. Trying to double their point total with a drive here as they approach the red zone. They go back to DeVoe, the fullback. Not going to get much. Makes his way down to about the 25-yard line. Gain of 1. James Tumulovic with the tackle there for Bedford. Also, Fotios Papanikolaou 3rd and 3 coming up. A couple of sophomores combining on the stop there for Bedford. 4 minutes in, fourth quarter. Lumley's pitch, taken by Grassborough. A little bit of room right side. He's got a first down as he makes his way into the red zone. Stifled at the 17-yard line after a gain of 5. Thomas Braga with the tackle for Bedford.
This is Salem. It's what Salem does. A little bit, keep pounding the ball down the field. 7 yards, 9 yards, 3, 17, 9, 4. That's what they do. And this is what we've seen all year with Salem, at the varsity level until they.
Another dive play. DeVoe is down to the 15-yard line after a 4-yard pickup. Luke Ben with another stop. Sorry, Luke 10. He blocked a kick earlier. He's got a tackle to his name. We've got a 10 and a Ben on Bedford.
A 10 and a Ben.
Yep, Jake Ben is the senior co-captain, and Luke 10 was in on that last tackle for the Bulldogs. Meanwhile, a right side run. DeVoe again, he's been the workhorse here, the senior fullback. He's been the main guy here on this drive. Corriveau with the tackle, but not before the ball is spotted just shy of the 10-yard line, which brings us to 3rd down and 3. Well, some of the Salem fans who are still here trying to fire up this offense. DeVoe going to push the pile inside the 10-yard line.
Close.
That is very close.
Really depends on the spot here.
Papa Nicolau with another tackle. And they do give him the benefit of the doubt, a first down for Salem. Another 3-yard carry for DeVoe. So we got a 1st and goal here. Ball at the 9-yard line midway through this fast-moving fourth quarter.
Boy, running time makes a difference, doesn't it?
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah, that lengthy first half that featured a delay of nearly a half hour when one of the Salem players was carted off. Meanwhile, the ball is loose.
I think Bedford's got it.
And the Bulldogs may have recovered. No signal yet. The Bulldog players certainly feel like they've got it, and they do.
Yep.
Second takeaway of the evening by this Bulldog defense as the fumble scooped up.
Yeah, he tried to make a broken play into something and just go down. He got possession of it. Watch, he gets down. Just go down. There's nothing there. You get completely surrounded by defenders, and nothing good is going to happen when you do that. Yeah, had the ball kind of out there carrying it like a loaf of bread, and yeah, they'll go back and work on that, and that's what this is all about. But
Gasborough has played well tonight.
Yes, he has.
Failed to protect the football there, and Bedford has the takeaway.
Best thing is just pick it up when he originally did and either go down or just drive forward. Don't try to do twists and turns. Just gives too much time for too many defenders to get in there on pursuit.
So Bedford winning the turnover battle down 2-0 and winning the football game 42-6 as they take over on offense here inside of 5 minutes remaining on this running clock in the fourth quarter. Handoff, big hole. Corriveau.
Nice backside pursuit there.
Tried to break it to 51. His right, but he was tracked down there by Bennett Atkins.
Yep.
Senior in his final game has played well all season for Coach Abraham.
He sure has.
So it'll be Bedford and Portsmouth next weekend. Well, that game likely taking place on Friday night.
You keep saying that, Nick. He's an intelligence gatherer. Don't I know
this guy. That's not official. That is not official, but I'm confident in saying that all signs at least are pointing in that direction, that we'll have Bedford at Portsmouth Friday night and then Londonderry at Pinkerton.
Yep. What a game.
On Saturday.
What a set of games those are.
In the Division I semifinals. Corriveau with room. Down the sideline, one man to beat, splits the defenders at the 30, still going at the 15. Tedesco, a diving attempt, won't catch him.
Boys, he got some speed. It looked like they were closing in on him, Nick.
An 88-yard touchdown run by Alex Corriveau to blow this game wide open.
If the track coach is around, he ought to be looking at that guy. That is some speed.
Comes with 3.5 remaining fourth quarter on what's been kind of a highlight reel for Bedford tonight. A lot of big plays. Saw 2 from 49 yards out in that first half, another from 56. And this one finds gold from 88 yards out. The junior Alex Corriveau showing the speed. And how about as you mentioned, Steve, able to split those defenders at the tail end of the run.
Yeah, what I like about, another guy that does that is obviously Mr. Helton, that accelerate through your defenders and past them. Don't allow them the ability to get square on you. And he did the same thing right there. He just split them in half and accelerated through the tackles.
Noah Casamasino is the backup kicker. After we saw the first 6 extra points converted by Soden. Now it's Casamasino's turn, and he picks up right where the other kicker left off. So 49-6. Bedford sending a message statewide that, yes, we are the defending champs. We're still undefeated. And frankly, we've yet to be challenged, no matter who the opponent has been.
Yeah.
All double-digit victories during the regular season. 8 against in-state competition, another victory over a stubborn Thornton Academy, a team out of Saco, Maine. The week off last week with the bye, and then right back on schedule here tonight with a 49-6 lead with now 3:33 remaining.
Well, this team came prepared, the first half there. Bedford came to this game prepared film-wise. You could clearly see especially on defense, I found, that they were as soon as the ball was snapped, they looked at the formation, and they did a great job of scouting Salem. Had 2 weeks to do, realistically to do it. I think there was a reasonable expectation that Salem was going to be the opponent. Had a week, arguably 2 weeks, and their film study paid off because they were, as I said, they were prepared.
Gasparo trying to dance out of trouble. Still inbounds along the sideline. Going to break it back middle. Going to pick up a block.
Got a back block.
He's at the 30-yard line. He's at the 35. Still alive at the 40, and finally brought down after a lengthy run back at the 42-yard line.
Bedford celebrating on the sidelines. Not quite sure.
Oh, yeah, they're fired up.
They're fired up. What I do like to see is both coaching staffs are really into what's going on out in the field to develop these younger players, and they know how important that is.
Well, the Bedford defense, as you said, Steve, on and off air, very impressive tonight. Looking back at some of the final scores from the regular season, the most points they allowed was 10.
Yeah, Donahue.
In a 42-10 win over Dover.
Yeah, Coach
Everyone
Donahue,
else has been either shut out or in single digits,
100%.
and it looks like that's going to be the case again tonight here in the tournament.
But Coach Donahue on the defensive side, Coach Zach Matthews, did a great job calling. They're a great duo. Again, you could say, well, Bedford's loaded. They keep on reloading. Well, you got to do something with it, and they do. Steve Abraham, very strong on the freshman, sophomore, junior group. Nothing but good things coming for the Blue Devils in the future. I know this was Nolan Lumley's. Will be his last high school game as a senior, Nick. I want to just say what a joy it's been watching his quarterback play in a high-paced running offense, watching him pitch, watching him break out to both sides. Certainly appreciate his performance this year. Love to watch quarterbacks, love to work with quarterbacks.
Meanwhile, Colin Salkovitz a little slow to get up.
He's one of those guys.
The freshman, after a 14-yard carry, is going to head to the sideline here. The officials will respot the ball and now restart the clock as we tick down towards 90 seconds remaining. After the game, a wrap-up, a recap, an out-of-town scoreboard look, some stats and highlights for you. That's all on the way following the game. Meanwhile, Gasparo is going to bounce his way to the right side, step out of bounds, somewhere inside the 40-yard line. Casamasino chased him out at officially the 37-yard line. after a 5-yard pickup. A 2nd and 5 coming up, and we are down to our final minute here in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, all the seniors on Salem.
There's a pitch, Gasborough.
Nice run.
Yeah, he's inside the 30. He's dropped at the 26.
Got a nice block downfield from Jose Cortez Jr. Good job there. Boy, they got their share of golf carts here at Bedford High School, don't they, Corey?
Yeah, he knows.
I don't think Corey needs one. He motors so fast on his own. It's honestly, Nick, 10 seconds later, he's on the other side of the whole stadium here.
Meanwhile, Lumley going to run out of bounds with 15 seconds, and that may just about do it.
Looks like it's going to do it.
Yep. So, Bedford flexing their muscles, the defending champs, with a statement win, 49-6 over Salem. They will travel to Portsmouth next weekend to face the Clippers in the semifinals. As we get one more run here from Walton, he's swallowed up at the 9-yard line, and that is going to do it as the Bulldogs celebrate with their fans here at Bulldog Stadium in what is going to be their final home game of the year. Mission accomplished, at least so far, for Coach Matthews and his squad. They're back in the semifinals for the 2nd straight year, still unbeaten after their 10th overall win of the season.
Well, I'll tell you, I did not expect that amount of domination over Salem, Nick. I did come in here feeling as though Bedford had a very strong, they was clearly the clear favorite coming in here. That wasn't as much as it was just the margin and the way they just came out explosive, the way they did after 2 weeks of being off from playing an opponent. They come in here and just explode. Brody Helton's show is really what it was, but he had a lot of good blocking, Nick, and had some good handoffs. But it's what Brody does after he gets to the line that's just amazing to watch. There was no answer tonight for Brody Helton. A lot of other players, obviously the defense and offensive lines matching up. Just couldn't contain the bookends of Bedford. Very difficult thing to do. It's going to be a very interesting matchup going over to Portland, Nick, because I feel as though Portland's got a very fast, we saw that last night.
Portsmouth.
I said Portland. Oh, gosh, I hope not. Portsmouth, thank you, Nick. But going over to the beach, as you say, I saw their defense last night. They're fast as well. They're big. They're strong. They're senior strong. Going to be a very interesting matchup as we look forward. And sincerely hope that you are right, that there's a Friday and Saturday night game, because Friday Night Lights wants to be at both.
That's right.
Right.
All right, we'll step aside, come back with the post-game stats, highlights, analysis, out-of-town scoreboard, all the good stuff in just a moment. You are watching our Friday Night Lights New Hampshire Game of the Week, presented by Beals Insurance.
Our broadcast today, as it always is brought to you by Beals Insurance Agency, with locations now in both Bedford and Londonderry. Whether you need home, auto, or business insurance, Beals Insurance will get you both the price and quality coverage that's right for you. Just call 603-471-9999 or visit BealsInsurance.com to request a free quote and start saving money today. Again, that's BealsInsurance.com. How can you reach your team's fundraising goals at no risk and no cost? MG Sports offers a variety of products to make your team's fundraiser a success. Their products include tickets and discount cards to hundreds of local businesses. MG Sports now has a digital platform where athletes can raise funds in the comfort and safety of their own home. Don't waste another season. Raise more funds than ever before and become another football program in New Hampshire that sets fundraising records every season. MG Sports, fundraising made easy. Visit mgsportsfundraising.com to start raising money for your team today. The New Hampshire Tomahawks promote the highest level of club lacrosse competition, not just in the state, but in the country. Looking to get recruited? Director Chris Cameron keeps an open dialogue with the nation's top college lacrosse coaches. Over 400 New Hampshire Tomahawks alumni have played at the college level, including the ACC, Big East, Big Ten, Ivy, NESCAC, NE10, and more. The New Hampshire Tomahawks coaching staff has over 100 coaches, including current high school, varsity, and college coaches. The Tomahawks offer training for players of all ages, clinics, camps, and leagues, along with spring, summer, summer and fall elite teams. So play with the best. The New Hampshire Tomahawks, showcase and development for college lacrosse. Visit NewHampshireTomahawks.com and girls.NHTomahawks.com.
Hey, I'm Chad, the owner of New Hampshire iPhone Repair. We're New Hampshire's most trusted and affordable repair shop for your iPhone, iPad, iPod, and even Android needs. Don't worry, we're affordable, reliable, and we back our parts with a lifetime warranty. And you know what the best part is? No, what? We can repair your phone while you wait.
I know, that's why I'm here.
Oh, I know, Mrs. Green. Here's your iPad, good as new. Bring your phone into New Hampshire iPhone Repair today.
Buy local and save big. For over 26 years, Spectrum Monthly has been providing great local offers from businesses in New Hampshire and Massachusetts, delivered to your mailbox every month. Spectrum is chock full of savings from your favorite businesses. From local restaurants and retail stores to entertainment, fitness, and home improvement services. You'll have easy access to thousands of dollars in savings, including exclusive offers for Spectrum readers. Every month, enter our readership contest for a chance at winning cash and local gift certificates. Spectrum Monthly, no one brings you better offers.
Well, 49-6 ends up being the final as Bedford advances to another semifinal in Division One. Salem ends the season with a 7-4 overall record. Nick, and ask this, Steve Beals with you. The Bulldogs got off on the right foot right away in this one. Less than 3 minutes in, it was a screen pass that broke big for Bedford. Danny Black.
Big play.
To Brody Helton from 49 yards out, 7-0 Bulldogs. Bulldogs then force a 3-and-out defensively to get the ball back with a short field. And one play later, Helton's in the end zone again. Also from 49 yards out on a run this time, 14-0. Final 4 minutes, first quarter. Bedford again driving on a short field. 2-yard touchdown, put them out in front, 21-0. Salem, 60 penalty yards on 4 personal fouls in that first quarter. Did not help their cause. Early second quarter, more of the same. First 3 minutes, it's Black to Helton. This time from 22 yards out. Extra point good, 28-zip at that point. Then we had a delay, which stretched out to nearly a half hour in real time. Unfortunately for Salem, they lost junior Ralph Tashtian, one of the linemen, to an injury. Not quite sure where that stands. He was carted off the field and sent to a local hospital.
I talked to one of the assistant coaches and said, for all intents and purposes, looks like a great deal of going to be okay, but
Good.
precautionary,
Yeah.
but yet still not out of the woods completely. But that's the way it appeared. He was aware, and so that's
So our thoughts are with him.
Pray for him, absolutely.
As we move forward. But at that point, 4 minutes into the second quarter, Bedford in control, 28-0. They add 2 more scores before halftime. Kevin Sheridan, the tight end, the 7-yard run into the end zone, made it 35-0. And then in the final minute, Dom Taliaferro, an electric style.
Had a good night tonight.
Yeah, 56-yard run officially on a touchdown with just 47 seconds remaining. So 42-0 Bedford, the writing on the wall at that point at halftime. Salem, though, they showed some fight. They come out and open up the third quarter with a 6-minute drive that ends in a 5-yard touchdown on a 4th down from junior running back Kevin Tedisco to get Salem on the board. Extra point try was blocked. 42-6 at that point. Fourth quarter, final 5 minutes. Alex Corribo with an 88-yard run. Longest play from scrimmage tonight. The junior puts the cherry on the sundae, so to speak. 49-6 the final. Bedford will meet Portsmouth in Portsmouth in the semifinal next weekend. Steve, your thoughts?
Well, there was no way that I really felt. I felt Bedford was a strong favorite tonight. I didn't expect 40 some odd points. Just total domination, pretty much in all of the first half. Starters against starters. I really felt at the screen pass by Bedford because I thought that it was pretty cool there with Salem being able to have Bedford about 3rd and 9 or whatever it was, and that screen pass busted it open. And then at that point, you kind of say that's kind of what Salem did not need to happen. I really felt one of my keys of the game is they needed to come out early, Nick, and establish points first. When you're away and you're the underdog, you got to come in and do that, build that confidence, maybe get the other team thinking a little bit, but that never happened. The Brody Helton machine took over, and this game was pretty well in the books when you look back in the rearview mirror by the second, third touchdown, Nick. But the first quarter, Salem never really able starters against starters to be able to do anything. They had one nice drive. They worked it down. That was a second big play there where they lost possession there. And penalties, and composure penalties, which there's no way that you can be an underdog and win in that situation. As far as I'm concerned, Salem, let's look at looking forward. Nothing but good times coming for the Salem Blue Devils.
Yep.
They're a solid football team. Congratulations to them. May not feel it right now, but sincere congratulations to Steve Abraham, his assistant staff, and every one of those kids and parents and community as a whole. You gave us a lot of fun this year, and we really enjoyed covering you, and we look forward to you guys coming out right out of the gate as a solid contender. Bedford, far from over Bedford. Power poll number 1. Probably deserve to be there when you look at, looking back, when you look at this margin tonight against a very good Salem team. They're going to go into Portland. I believe that they're going to play a more age-consistent seniors versus seniors. And let me tell you, Brooks Connors and that whole defensive front is a real deal. But it's hard to imagine going into Bedford not thinking that after what we've just seen here, Nick, that they're in a pretty good position themselves. But Portsmouth could give them a heck of a fight, and I don't think Portsmouth's going in that game expecting to lose. So
something to watch.
Something to watch.
As this week develops again, the health of Portsmouth starting quarterback Aiden Thomas.
It's a big factor now.
Who left after the first quarter last night with an apparent upper body injury. So we'll see how healthy both teams are come this weekend. We'll talk about it all Thursday night. FNL Gridiron, 6 o'clock Eastern Time, live on Friday Night Lights, New Hampshire. We'll break down every game remaining on the docket, not just in Division I either. We have a Division II game to preview as well. That'll feature both Pelham and Plymouth as those two
How about
were winners
Londonderry
today.
Pinkerton? Wow.
And then Londonderry Pinkerton.
What a game that's going to be.
On the other side of the D1 semifinal bracket. Astros, the top seed overall, with a 55-20 win over BG. Londonderry a win earlier this afternoon over Exeter, 27-7. Want to thank Corey Parker and his staff here at Bedford High School. Of course, our friends down in the booth at BCTV, Bill Jennings, Harry and Corey, everybody involved. We appreciate them. And, of course, our Friday Night Lights New Hampshire crew, which includes a trio of really filmmakers at this point behind the lens. John Barron, Matt Beals, and, of course, our newest addition.
Great job, Ian.
Down there on
Matt.
the field, Ian Maluski. Of course, the whole thing orchestrated and put together by our director, the man behind the curtain, the wizard of replay, Ben Beals, back in the Beals Insurance Studios. For Steve Beals, my name is Nick Anastas saying so long. Final score, final time, Bedford 49, Salem 6. This has been a presentation of our Friday Night Lights New Hampshire Game of the Week presented by Beals Insurance.